Pierce and Helene.
The most important thing at this point is to save lives. And we can do that by moving to a safe place and shelter if you are ordered to evacuate.
North Carolina mountains still recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Helene.
Homes and businesses ripped from their foundations, many without power or running water, and some people still unaccounted for. North Carolina's governor reassured victims that help is coming, but for many it hasn't. Now, soldiers from the Army's 82nd Airborne and private organizations and volunteers from across the country flood the affected areas to help those trying to pick up the pieces.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,145 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week on weaned value-added cattle. Stocker calves sold 8 to 12 higher, feeder cattle 4 to 6 higher, packer cows and bulls steady to $4 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $354, $365, 3 to 400 pound heifers $292, $315. 4 to 500 pound steers $321, $354. 4 to 500 pound heifers $270, $293. 5 to 600 pound steers $260, $321. 5 to 600 pound heifers $240, $270. 6 700 pound steers $236, $260. 6 700 pound heifers $230, $240. 7 800 pound steers $228, $236. 7 800 pound heifers $224, $230. Packer cows $120, $130. Canter and cutter cows $110, $115. Packer bulls $148, $154. Feeder bulls $125, $130. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,800 to $2,300 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,700 to $2,025 per head. We do appreciate the business. Talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten. Roswell Livestock Auction.
There's been talk in the news that it's hard to get credit these days. Not here. Just like always, we're making auto loans. We offer competitive rates and quick service. We make our loan decisions locally, so you don't have to wait for out-of-town approval on your loan. Make this strong move. Get your auto loan from us. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
This holiday season, Michael Martin Murphey's Cowboy Christmas is coming to the Spencer Theater on December 7th at 2 p.m. Michael Martin Murphey's Cowboy Christmas is an extraordinary blend of music, encompassing his numerous best-selling Christmas albums alongside his beloved country and pop hits. Purchase tickets online at spencertheater.com or call the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Family of Excellence at Lucky Services, Lucky Rental Tool, Lucky Health and Safety, and TRM Trucking encourage you to vote. If you can't make it to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, vote early, but be sure to vote. This year's election will be one of the closest and most consequential in our nation's history, so every vote matters. Thank you for voting and praying for our country and its leaders from the Lucky Family of Excellence. And God bless America.
Lact Service Company of Hobbs is hiring meter proving technicians. Must possess a valid CDL with hazmat endorsement. Lact offers company paid insurance, PTO, vacation, and safety days to qualified employees. Stop by 3521 Industrial Drive in Hobbs today to submit an application, or for more information, contact Michael at 575-370-4604. Lact Service Company, serving the oil and gas industry since 1969. At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
Hi, I'm Dennis Holmberg, Executive Director of the New Horizons Foundation. Do you have an idea for a new business? Have you thought of an invention but don't know what to do with your idea? On October 17th, there is a free workshop to help you find answers. Leading experts in financing, patent law, business planning, and development will be in Hobbs. Now, space is limited, so call 575-492-4600. 4708 and get registered now. Again, this is free. This entrepreneur workshop will start at 6 p.m. in the Workforce Development Building at New Mexico Junior College, 4000 West Millen. Dinner will be provided. This event is sponsored by the New Horizons Foundation, Arapahoe, and New Mexico Junior College. Again, call 575-492-4708.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Hi, good morning. The forecast over southeast New Mexico is temperatures this afternoon on this Tuesday around 90 degrees in Roswell and around 89 degrees in Carlsbad and Artesia. Lovington temperatures about 84 degrees this afternoon. Still warming, but even warmer on Wednesday in Lovington at 88 degrees, and Carlsbad goes to 92 degrees. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Herberts.
Your country plays on W105.
I occasionally have
It is
nervous
about
clumping
time.
in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hand.
Casting from the Inn of the Mountain Gods studio. Text line at 877-396-W105. Powered by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer.
Hi, I'm Alexa. This is my favorite morning show. But these guys talk funny.
The new and improved Bee and the Breakfast Club. Now including Monica and Blake.
It's like I've got the winning ticket in my pocket.
Listening to anything else is like guessing your sister. You.
You sick bastard! Look at this! This is a wake-up call, all right? Fine, I got it.
Good morning, everybody.
What would you like for breakfast?
Actually, I was hoping you'd make me one of your fluffernutters.
Fluffernutters!
Oh, it's October 8th, National Fluffernutter Day.
We are marking National Fluffernutter Day today.
Fluffer. Nut. Fluffer.
Nutter. Peanut butter. Marshmallow.
Sandwich.
Peanut butter and marshmallow.
Happy National Fluffernutter Day.
It's showtime!
And good morning to you. What the hell is a fluffernutter, Tom? What is a fluffernutter?
A peanut pancake.
Peanut pancake?
Fluffer. Isn't that what they call pancakes?
I'm going to guess it has something with marshmallows in it. Fluffy,
Peanut
fluff.
butter and marshmallows.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know I had never seen these, but when I moved to Arkansas, they make donuts out of potato flour.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those before.
And they're actually pretty good. Actually fairly good.
Wow.
And that's what El Dorado, Arkansas is known for, along with Murphy Oil Company.
Potato donuts?
Yeah, what are the Spud Nuts is what they're called.
Spud
nuts.
Spud Nuts. Yeah, Spud Nuts. There you go.
And I think I had them like in Hot Springs.
Could. Yeah,
They taste like normal donuts?
Yeah. They
mostly.
Yeah, taste like normal donuts.
You'd think
except,
they'd be like not as light because potatoes are heavy.
yeah, but
No, they make the flour.
yeah, if you make the flour out of it, I don't know the process, but they make the flour out of it. And
I'm sure it's similar to doing potato flakes.
Sure.
Yeah, well, and they also do like flour out of coconuts and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, I had no idea about canola oil, how bad it is.
Oh, it's
for
horrible.
us.
It's horrible.
Terrible for us.
One of the worst things you can put in your Canola body.
Yeah, canola oil.
Wow.
Now, what does the canola come from, Tom?
Italy.
That's a Canadian thing.
Oh.
Canola. Yeah. Italy.
Hey,
Yes.
I watched The Godfather. I heard that last night.
Yeah.
Cannolis.
That
No,
cannoli
cannoli is a different
it's a
thing.
dessert.
It's in the neighborhood. No, it's not.
It's not even close. All right, Vet Hero is going to be on with us during the 8 o'clock hour. We'll get to Vet and new polling information. We'll see what she says about this. Shows her that she is actually behind in that race for Congressional District 2. We'll see what she says. I look, it's a KOB poll. So I'm kind of interested in her inner office poll, inner campaign poll, and any other polls that have been because I just don't know if KOB does a really great job in southeast New Mexico.
Well,
They ain't going to ask nobody down here.
no, they only asked in the South Valley.
Yeah, maybe that was it. All right, we're going to get you updated with the weather. Today is Lovelace Day. Is that Linda Lovelace?
I don't know.
Or Ada Lovelace. American Touch Tag Day. Playing tag back in the day. What a awesome game back in the day. You know, the problem with that is if we played tag today, it would be assault.
Right.
No. I mean, if somebody would end up suing you for assault. You tagged them too hard. International Face Your Fears Day. International Lesbian Day. I will say it again. We already have an LGBTQ Day, Coming Out Day, and every other day there are 26. We counted them last year.
Coming Out Day was yesterday.
26 different gay holidays.
You know, I can't think of any other group of people who need more dang days than them.
I just don't get it. Let's do a tax day. And I'm also tired.
April 15th.
Yeah, I'm tired of African American month, Hispanic month. We don't have an Asian American month. We don't have a Caucasian month.
We don't have a coon month.
We don't have a coon-ass month. So why do we have to? It's divisive.
Listen.
I mean, veterans get one damn day.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that.
One day. Oh, now you're on this side.
No, but I always say veterans are great.
No. Now you're on this side.
I'm always for veterans, ever. And now I got a daughter who's going to be a veteran when she gets out of the Air Force. Only if it affects him.
Yes, only.
So I wonder if there
it's
are
like picture day. Only if it affects him. Well, today's picture day. I'm happy as hell up in here.
Aw.
Look at me. I'm styling and profiling.
Like, yeah, put on my shirt, man. We're looking good today.
He got dressed.
What
today
shirt?
for Pictures.
My W105 shirt. Polo shirt.
I don't even have one.
Man,
Do
you
we
have
have,
plenty of time to get one.
We're
Hello.
normal heterosexual day.
Yeah, I think we should have a normal hetero. I'm not going to even say normal.
Married day.
I'm just going to say.
I like the real stuff day.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, do we have to have a day for everything?
Well, you did skip Peanut Butter Day, Pierogi Day,
Yeah.
and
Octopus Day.
Yes.
Own Business Day.
National Hero Day.
Salmon Day. Salmon Day, very, very important. Salmon.
Smoked.
Salmon. I'm not a salmon fan.
I like salmon.
But I got a friend of mine that's fishing out in the in Alaska. They do 6 months in the Philippines, and he's a guest worker. He comes and works 6 months on those boats. That's a rough life.
It is.
That's a really.
I can imagine.
That's a tough life.
Fisherman is always ranked as one of the most dangerous line of work.
Yeah,
especially in
out
Alaska.
there. Especially out there. All right, 6/14 Amazon Prime Day starts today, although you probably overspent last time, and Black Friday is not that far away.
The last time was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, they're doing it 3 times a year now. And, of course, you racked up all those hospital bills going to Black Friday.
Right.
By the way, the Dyson V8 vacuum is down from $470 to $300. I don't know what I would do with that, but...
a vacuum.
Yeah. And by the way, if you give that to your wife for Christmas, you're going to get murdered.
Maybe.
More hospital bills.
If you have an old vacuum cleaner that's going out, ask her if she would like a new one, and then you'll be safe.
Yeah. Not a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
A Christmas gift, not the Christmas gift. No, I did get a washer dryer for my ex.
Yeah, and that's why she's your ex.
She needed to
Yeah,
That's
do
why
not give house gifts as Christmas
is your
gifts
ex.
or birthday gifts.
Did you just say she needed to wash? Well, yeah.
You can't wash?
Well, she used to wash, but then when she put my socks in the dryer, she wouldn't fold them. You don't fold them in the dryer. I know, but she would fold them when she get them out.
Yeah, I got a problem. Our Yaya, our maid in the Philippines, has met a man and moving away.
Uh-oh.
And so I told the wife, just wait until we get back, and I will do the damn interviewing. And My mother-in-law is on the phone, and she can't. She doesn't explain a whole bunch of English, but she understood 22 to 26.
Wow.
Yeah, she was telling us that she hasn't come back, and so now the mother-in-law is having to do all the washing and stuff. So I just said, just hire somebody else.
What'd she say?
I said, but make her between 22 and 26. My wife. Costco website is selling 1 ounce gold bars. They are available, and they can't keep these things. They are selling as fast. So if you're wondering what the price tag is, $2,689.99.
Does that fluctuate with spot or?
Yes. So, and they are sold out right now. So, yeah. So if you're heading to Costco to get the gold bars, they are currently sold out, but you can get the hot dog that used to be $1.25. It is not $1.25 anymore. Madonna's brother passed away yesterday. He was a dancer, designer. He was Madonna's brother. I mean, let's just be honest. Christopher wasn't known for anything else. He was 63 years old. Sissy Houston, gospel singer, mother of Whitney Houston, passed away. She was 91 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Whitney Houston came from a long line of musicians.
Right.
And, you know, her aunt, Thelma Houston, had several hits back in the 70s.
And Dionne Warwick, too.
I don't think that would be her aunt.
That was one of her aunts.
I don't think it was. You're thinking of Thelma Houston.
Right.
You're thinking of Thelma Houston. Thelma Houston was her aunt. Sissy Houston was her mom. She passed away at 91. And Donald Glover has canceled the remaining dates of, well, I don't know why that affects us. I don't know.
Oh, they're cousins.
They're cousins.
Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston were first cousins.
Ron DeSantis.
What neighborhood?
Yeah.
In Arkansas, that's called. Hello.
Yeah, that'll be my wife. All right, we're going to talk about Ron DeSantis, proving again that he is a great leader, and he is a badass. Kamala Harris is crying. I'll tell you why Kamala is crying. That on the way.
Someone found her cocaine?
Yeah, FEMA is still having some issues. I'll tell you about that. We'll get to that in just a second. Our number 877-396-W105. Check of the weather being brought to you by Finn's Country Market. Find the big specials all day today. Fresh pork ribs, $1.77 a pound. Owen's breakfast sausage, 2-pound roll for $4.99. Get boneless beef, arm roast, or the family pack, $3.99 a pound. And get jalapenos, 99 cents a pound. Avocados, just $1.77 a pound, 5-pound, 5-count bag. And sweet corn, 4 for $2. Friday is Fajita Friday. That's going on with prime ribeye steak fajitas. And you can buy it by the pound. So if you're going to go out and tailgate, that is going to be perfect for you. Taco Tuesday is today.
It is.
Signature tacos with the USDA prime ribeye steak tacos. Get in there for lunch today and take advantage of this. And they make their own tortillas at Finn's. And so get in there today and Taco Tuesday and partake, of course, in Taco Tuesday. Let me tell you about they also have on special Pepsi Mountain Dew Big Red Brisket, Brisk Big 24-pack, 12-ounce cans for $10.99. Charmin Tissue, if you think you can't find toilet paper, 12-pack, Mega Rolls, $13.98. Find these specials today at Finn's Country Market. Weather for the day, high temperature 87 overnight, low tonight 59, 89 coming up for tomorrow. I'm seeing weather getting back into the 90s. Check out the weather being brought to you by our buddies at the North Star Laundry. One stop for all your laundry needs, dry cleaning, starching, pressing, and they can wash, dry, and fold all of your clothes. Now, if you want to take care of that yourself, they have coin-operated machines. Yeah, you can find them 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church, Carlsbad, 406 West Cedar, and Loving. Tweet of the day's on the way. We'll get to Ron DeSantis. Text line is open, 877-396-W105.
All right, AppMax is hands down the best place to buy and sell precious metals. Says this one text. I don't
What's the name of it?
APMEX. AppMax.
Apex. Right? Apex?
I guess they
The market?
Yeah, Apex.
The market?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? Okay. This texter said AppMax, so I'm reading up the way they are spelled.
How's it spelled?
APMEX.
How is that at?
APMEX.
You said at. How is that at?
No,
AP.
AP.
Yeah.
AppMax.
Okay.
Or Max.
Oh, God.
Why
bless
don't you just read APMEX?
Yeah. Whatever that means.
Because if it said fart, it would be FART. If it said
He tries
ass,
to make a
it'd
word.
be ASS.
He's trying to make a word where a word doesn't exist.
And this text says, can we just have a B doesn't complain about everything day?
What the hell am I complaining about? Seriously, name one thing that I complained about. Go ahead. I'll wait for you.
My back.
I haven't said crap. By the way, thank you for bringing that up. I ran into Shorty yesterday at the gym.
What about Shorty?
Shorty said he has called you multiple times after volunteering to help you, and every time it's excuse after excuse after excuse.
Okay.
He said, meet me here tomorrow at 3:30, Tom. Comes, Tom's not there. Next day, meet me here at 3:30, Tom. Tom's not there. Every time he calls you, it's a different set of
I'm
excuses.
taking a nap, man.
Oh.
Well, don't tell somebody you'd meet him at 3:30.
He's never told me that. Once, maybe. And I met him there, and he wasn't there. So I stopped going.
I trust him much more than I do you.
What time did you meet him there, and what time were you supposed to meet him there?
I go swimming. I don't lift the weights like he does.
Excuse.
You don't do that. How dare you think he does that?
Tell him, Monica.
Yeah.
And even Tom A.
Wait. When's the last time you swam?
Yesterday I was at the Core in Hobbs.
See, we can't validate that.
How many laps did you do in the lap pool?
I did 5. That's a big pool right there.
5 laps.
Yeah.
Are you shiting me?
Did you get tired?
In the lap pool.
In the big pool, and then I went to the little splash pool, got in the hot tub, and then went to the therapy one.
The lazy river. Lazy river has never felt so lazy.
So you did 5 laps.
5 laps.
In the lap pool.
Mm-hmm. That's a bigger pool than the one we got.
How long is the lap?
I think it's 50 yards.
So
that's what, 500 yards that we're swimming.
Did you swim?
Yes. Dog paddle.
I'm out of here.
At least I'm doing something. What do you do? I don't see you over there at the Core.
I was yesterday at the Core.
He doesn't go to the Core.
I don't go to the Core. I go right here to Lovington Wellness Center, and I was there yesterday. That's how I saw Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty's there, but that one day he wasn't there when I came. Now,
but
Shorty,
that one day,
quit complaining. Man.
What time were you supposed
what
to
am
meet
I
him?
complaining about? You're the one complaining. My back hurts because I'm sore. My arms hurt because I'm sore.
I am.
My brain hurts because you make it sore.
True stuff, man.
Yeah, no joke. You make my brain hurt too.
Original Tom A. hater on the text. Even Tom A. has a day, April Fool's Day. He says this morning.
Oh, that's funny.
You guys crazy.
I would love to hear about the biggest pothole in southeast New Mexico.
Oh man,
West Texas. West Texas, you don't have potholes like we have. Our governor will spend the money on things that don't need to be spent.
Well, she'll make sure the roads up north are good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's most definitely.
Right.
All right. Ron DeSantis forcibly rips open a gate at a landfill. He sent a memo out that all landfills are going to be open 24/7. And the reason is they got another hurricane, and this is a monster hurricane. This thing is 160 miles wide. Cat 5, 175 miles an hour. What's the highest hurricane do we have, Tom?
I think Cat 5.
Yeah. So that's the highest. They are projecting this thing could be over 200 miles an hour when it approaches land.
Man.
At 160
That's
miles.
like the width of.
Wild.
Would you say Hobbs?
So let's. That is like from Jowl
to Tatum.
That's bigger than that.
No, bigger than from Jowl to Tatum. I want you to just.
because
That's only like 95 miles.
That is
like from Hobbs to Lubbock, maybe.
Plains, Texas.
Yeah. That's about right. About Hobbs to Lubbock.
Yeah, Hobbs to. So let's do Hobbs to Lubbock.
And it's probably a little more than that. So.
Oh my!
I bet it's like Plains to Roswell because that's a straight shot.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
I bet. Well, let's see that's less than that too. It's,
Yeah.
It's like Lubbock to Roswell.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So that's how wide this thing is.
That's incredible.
Blowing 175 miles an hour and not happy. Milton is pissed.
And it's already a weird storm.
It is.
Going the way that it's traveling is strange.
So you could hear DeSantis, somebody saying, "Governor, you just tore down the gate." And he's like, "Yep, they should follow directions and stay open 24/7 like I mandated."
Wow.
They can rebuild
So
it.
DeSantis
we talked about this. Why do landfills have gates on them in the first place?
It's not like somebody's
It's where
gonna-
you're throwing away your trash.
So DeSantis went in there this weekend, and this guy's getting his hands dirty. He's not you, Tom. He actually does stuff. And so he goes out with crews, and they hauled off more debris in 2 days than the contractors they hired to do it did in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And that's why he was upset. So they're working 13 hours a day. When they tore that down, it was at night. He was still working. And then Kamala Harris is very upset that he is not returning her call.
I'm busy, woman.
And so he's like, I got things to do.
Right.
And by the way, it's 2 weeks. Why hasn't she called me before? And why isn't she calling him anyway? She's not the president.
Sure.
Oh, yes, she is.
She is not the president.
She said it the other day that she was the first president to do whatever.
Right.
By the way,
Remember?
Vance,
she called herself the president.
Vance said, when I become president, vice president. So he did the same thing. Man accused of shooting during that Espanola protest reaches a plea deal. This guy's going to do 4 years in prison. And if it wouldn't be that he would be a conservative with a gun, he'd have probably got probation. I'm serious. We have people that are walking the streets today that actually did drive-bys and got less time.
Right.
So Ryan Martinez, 24, a conservative, has canceled after a plea deal was reached. His trial was canceled. Martinez was scheduled for the trial to begin yesterday after being accused of shooting Jacob Johns in September 2023 during the protests of Oñate outside of the county annex there and Rio Arriba. And so he reached that agreement, and he was charged with attempted murder. And I don't even know where they get this attempted murder, because if you remember the video, look, I think he was wrong for shooting because he was actually...
Yeah, he didn't need to.
No, he didn't need to. Because
he had gotten away.
He was over the fence at that point, or over the... Was it a fence or a barricade? It was a barricade. So he was actually over there and turned and shot the guy.
That is not self-defense.
Yeah, that's not self-defense, but it's not really attempted murder either. And did he fear for his life? I'm sure he did at that point.
Well, I'm sure he had been in the moments leading up to that. He was fearful. For
Yeah, I mean, there are mobs coming at you. Today, early voting. I need to go handle my business. My air conditioner stopped working yesterday, so I had to take it to the shop. So
see, you put the bad juju on
it. Yeah, I shouldn't have talked about it. You want to find out if you are registered to vote? You can do that. What's that site that you can go to?
It is Vote Ref. voteref.com.
But you want to vote. You want to check on your voting locations. Go to NewMexicoVote.org. Today is the first day. And early voting will run all the way through the 20th. And then on the 21st, they go to off-site voting, where you can vote at the mall and at stores and all over the place. So if you're not registered, don't forget you can register and vote
today, same time,
on the same day.
Yes. Get in there today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, I'm going to early vote tomorrow because we got stuff to do today, but I'm going to early vote
And as
tomorrow.
of right now, in Eddy County, there are 34,755 registered voters. Lee County has 36,345. Chavez County, 34,636.
So you want a vet, Harold. You're worried about.
And Otero County has 37,778.
You're worried about Yvette Harrell in Congressional District 2 with Gabe Vasquez.
Yeah.
And you're worried because Gabe Vasquez is not pro oil and gas. You work in the oil and gas industry. I'm going to speak to you the way that people speak in oil and gas industry. I'm just gonna speak that way. Parents, if you don't like some spicy language, just turn your radio down for a second. So let me talk to the way they talk in the oil field. You need to get your ass out and vote. If you're not registered to vote, there are no excuses. Go vote.
You can register today.
Your job is dependent on you getting out and voting. And by the way, I shouldn't have to remind you that this is a right that many countries do not have. It's a sacred right. I know the whole deal about, well, they're going to steal the election and all that. Donald Trump is running behind in these polls.
Mm-hmm.
Running behind. He's going to help you. You need to help him.
Yep.
So,
and it's not just your job; it's your entire savings.
Yeah. Well, it's your kids.
They've already said they're coming for it. They want to tax you on unrealized gains. Now, in simple language, that means money you have not made.
So let's think about this also, Blake. So a lot of guys in the oil field get a bonus,
and they're gonna
So you get a bonus, you're going to be taxed on top of the tax.
60%.
Bye-bye bonus.
60%.
So this is Kamala Harris's plan that, say you buy a house and on your time off, you're flipping that house and you bought it, I'm just going to give a ridiculous, for $25,000.
Okay.
And you sell that house for $75,000. And you're thinking, I did all the work. I put in the work. It doesn't matter.
Let's say you just have it on the market. It's valued at $75,000. You're not even selling it.
Yeah.
She wants to tax that extra $50,000.
Yeah. So wake up, America.
Yep.
Wake up, America. All these people that have come into this country, they have to pay for them.
Well, they want to give them your stuff.
That's why they keep talking about a housing shortage. When you let 21 million people in the country, there's going to be a housing shortage. And with that comes supply and demand and the increase in the price of houses.
Yep.
Wake up, people. Look, I am not that smart. I'm just a dumb coon ass from Southeast Louisiana. Blake's over there agreeing with me, damn it.
Yep.
And I'm just like...
And, you know, simple economics, supply and demand. It's not that hard.
Yep. No, it's not.
Wake up.
You know, the way that I had to give it simply to my sister, because to this day, my sister has still not registered to vote. Blake, you need to get in on her. I'm like, bro, do it for your grandbabies.
Well, wait a minute.
Vote
She has children and grandchildren?
Yeah.
And she won't vote?
No.
So if you don't vote and you have children or grandchildren, then all you're doing is punishing them. Absolutely. Because you are putting them further in debt.
Yep.
You're hurting your own ability to care for them.
Yep.
And you're going to make them a slave to the system.
Exactly.
And there's just one simple question. Were you better off 4 years ago than you are today? I mean, and Donald Trump,
Tom says he wasn't.
What?
You were not better off?
No. I mean, I was better off.
Well, what the hell was that came out of your mouth?
I'm not better off today.
Are you nonverbal?
That's what that means. Survey said.
I don't know what that means because it takes on two different meanings.
Obviously, you don't watch my shows.
What show would that be?
Anyway, you're not better off than you were 4 years ago. And if you go out and don't vote, you're going to be worse.
Oh, yeah.
By far, because she's already said the kind of stuff she wants to do.
Yep.
And if you think this is bad,
you ain't seen nothing yet.
No, she's already said that in order to get this under control, we need to do twice as much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want groceries to not only go up as much as they went up, but double that amount, that's going to happen again.
Get ready.
Right? So it went up if you paid $1 for something.
Yeah.
And now it's $2. It's not just going to go to $3. It's going to go to $4 because it's going to be double what it already
Name
did.
one thing that the government has done right. Road Department? VA? IRS? They have actually
the military
taken our military and made it woke.
The military is the only part of the government that kind of is okay.
It's crazy. All right, we're going to get to the thought for the day. We're doing things a little different this morning. We'll take a break in a second. We'll talk about the Supreme Court Monday made a decision about Texas. I will get to that. Morning show being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico. They offer siding and construction, roofing and windows, metal buildings. Metal buildings. They can take care of industrial and commercial metal buildings. Call them this morning. They offer great customer service. They get out there, get it finished, come back out, inspect the job to make sure everything is good. 575-391-1430 or go to Seminole Siding and Construction.com. Tom?
If you don't vote, you're not voting for the opposition. And remember, don't forget, this texter saying, to spay or neuter your Democratic family members. Says the texter. Okay.
That was a good one.
And this hurricane is an attack with weather manipulation, says the texter. The size of that hurricane you mentioned earlier, B, this guy says Plains to Roswell is only about 125 miles. And this text says, Blake, everything needs a border, even a dang landfill, they say this morning.
Oh, I do understand why they have it, but my point is that some of the let's call it border fence around landfills is more than we have around our country.
Yeah, it is. Well, and when the governor says, hey, we're going to keep these landfills open 24/7, you keep them open 24/7. If you have to work overtime, you work overtime.
Right. And this text says on the worst potholes, how about Burton Flats off 62-180? Potholes all across the road and in the same spots. Good morning, guys. We love your show, says Bradley.
All right, let's get to the tweet. Then we'll take a break, and we'll come back and talk about Texas and talk about Kamala Harris. She is very mad. We'll get to that. She's stomping her feet. We'll play the cut in just a second. Tweet of the day being brought to you by Platinum Auto Services in Carlsbad. Professional mechanics that you can trust. On duty right now, they have ASE certified technicians. They use quality parts. They offer customer satisfaction, and they do everything, like oil changes to keep your engine running clean and efficient. They do window tinting, suspension work, AC service, diagnostics, alignment, tires, you name it, they do it all. They offer great customer service, owned by great people. Give them a call, 575-689-6900, or go to 606 South Canal in Carlsbad. Tweet of the day. I want you to think about this unburdened thing. We've unfolded that before, but here we go again. I didn't know some of the things that AOC says is also from Karl Marx.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
What can be unburdened by what has been? What does that mean?
I don't know if I should say. There's a line in Marx, and AOC uses the phrase, "We have a world to win," which comes from the end of the Communist Manifesto, originally written in German. It basically says you have to wipe out what has been to arrive in the new. If you think about what Mao had to do to wipe out Chinese history, what Pol Pot had to do, you're trying to wipe out memory because the memory has all of this burden. Why is it important to go after doctors and lawyers and teachers and professors? Because in some sense, they are going to resist the new order that you're about to impose. You're looking for a blank slate.
Unburden. And have you noticed that Kamala has stopped saying that?
Yeah.
And because she knew that we're on to her. Yes. The lies continue. Carrie Jean-Pierre blaming Peter Doocy about the FEMA money. Look, and I said it yesterday, but I didn't know the amount. Blake said the amount this morning.
$20 billion.
$20 billion. So before Congress left for their break, they put $20 billion in FEMA. $20 billion in FEMA. The problem is FEMA is spending money at a rate that we have never seen. Because why is it our responsibility as American citizens? We don't take care of American homeless.
Apparently not.
We do not take care of American homeless, so why should we take care of immigrants that come here? Why we got to give them food? Why we got to give them free hotels? Tom, why is that?
Or free money.
Our free money. So why is that?
Because we're dumb.
Thank you. That is the most intelligent thing that you've said in years.
Thank you very much.
Years. Here's Carrie Jean-Pierre blaming Peter Doocy. Oh, fake information. What did she call it?
Misinformation.
Misinformation. Here we go.
President Biden is fond of saying, "Show me your budget and I will tell you what you value." If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for people in North Carolina who need it. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir. What you do? Yes, it's misinformation.
It's a question.
I just mentioned to you that we provided more than $200 million to folks who are impacted in the area.
All right, $200 million. Help me here. $20 billion.
Not close.
And is it disinformation? A question is disinformation?
No, it can't be misinformation if you're taking their own numbers and saying, your president said this. Oh, that's misinformation.
Yeah.
No, he said it.
Yeah. One more cut before we get out of here. Kamala Harris not getting calls back from DeSantis. She's upset. She was asked on the tarmac yesterday. Here we go.
NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are
No, Ron DeSantis is out there doing.
Putting the people first.
While she's talking. Yesterday, I posted on Being the Breakfast Club. You can go and see it. Howard Stern, who is going to be interviewing Kamala Harris. Number one, I posted a picture of him and Diddy at a party.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder if he got the freak on. But
knowing Howard Stern.
But Howard Stern was also in blackface, dropping the N-word left and right and calling Whoopi a nasty N-word.
Oh, wow.
And
when he did those routines and put himself in blackface, he says because he's in blackface, it's okay to drop those words.
So
he did it to do that.
I am just wondering how long it will be before that gets reported and it's taken down.
He's far left. It won't be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the liberals will probably.
No, he's on their side. They don't, until he does something to cross them, they won't do anything.
Right.
It's on my page, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to be in trouble. All right, we're going to get to the thought for the day coming up in just a second. We'll talk about the Supreme Court and the Monday ruling dealing with abortions. Yep. Hurricane Milton, we talked about that. Gun-wielding man shot by the Midland police. I will get to that. We talked about Hurricane Milton. How much more can Florida take?
Bless their hearts.
And look, Ron, I don't care what Kamala Harris says. Ron DeSantis is stepping up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he is doing a good job in being in a leadership role as the governor of Florida right now. And when he says she has no role in this, he's 100% right.
Yep. Well, they were late to the parade.
Yeah.
And we'll also talk about New Mexico lost a good Democrat. Probably the last good Democrat we've had in New Mexico. I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
He passed yesterday. We'll get to that. Let's get updated, find out what's going on. I'll do the thought for the day when we come back. Check of the weather this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Homegrown and very proud of it. They've got all your farm and ranch supplies, Purina, certified Purina dealer, all your animals. They've got those taken care of. And if you're looking for Western wear, work gear, whatever it is, they've got you covered. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, online at roswelllivestock.com. Text line.
This text says, you know what? It's time for a revolution, says the text. Another one says, if you put the government in charge of the Sahara Desert in 5 years, we'd have a shortage of sand, says the text this morning.
Yep.
Hey, Blake, this text was saying it's for being better off now, opposed to 4 years ago. Heck no, says the texter. And I love to fish. My bass boat cost me $15,000 in 2020. Now it's about $21,000.
And Kamala Harris wants to tax you on the difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Biden. 4 more years of the same old man. I hope not, says the text.
God bless. All right, 6:48. Monica, when we come back, I'll let you do the thought for the day. And we're going to mix things up. I'll let Blake do the things that happen on this date in history.
Sure.
Tom, you might start doing the thought for the day.
I can think of stuff.
Yeah. No. It's already written out.
Do we do a question of the day every day?
Yes. Maybe you can let Monica do the scripture. You do the thought for the day.
Oh, okay.
So.
What? I'm not biblical enough?
Yeah, you're not really.
Well, she has the corner on that.
Thought is easier for you.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
Thinking is not that easy for you. I digress. All right, let's take a break, keep you updated with everything going on. Thought for the day just around the corner. Also, Boob of the Day, Yvette Hurl coming up at about 8:06 this morning. News being brought to you by WWRV. 3 RV parks in Carlsbad, 162 RV hookups, 30 and 50 amps, and a quiet place to rest. When I talk about the 30 and 50 amps, and all your utilities included, that includes high-speed internet. It is an affordable, quiet place to park your RV. So if you're working around Carlsbad, this is perfect. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up. 988-0392 or WWRV3.com. We're coming right back, 11 away from 7. We're W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
La Tienda in Carlsbad presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now.
Call now.
MTD Radio News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Get the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovart. Early in-person voting will get underway Tuesday across New Mexico, the same day that ballots will get mailed out. It is also the last day people can register to vote or update their registration online or through the mail ahead of the November 5th election. The early voting period will end on November 2nd at 6 p.m. On Election Day, people will again be able to vote at locations across the state from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. New Mexico also allows people to vote absentee. Voters will have until October 22nd to request an absentee ballot either at a county clerk's office or at nmvote.org. People can also sign up to be a permanent absentee ballot. Those on that list will automatically receive a ballot in the mail each year rather than requesting one. And on Monday, the Bureau of Land Management, New Mexico State Office, opened a 30-day public scoping period to receive public input on 17 oil and gas parcels totaling 7,782 acres that may be included in a July 2025 lease sale. The comment period ends on November 6th. More information can be found on the BLM website at eplanning.blm.gov. And the St. Peter's Evangelical Lutheran Church in Carlsbad opened the church's annual pumpkin patch over the weekend. The church at 1302 West Pierce Street started the pumpkin patch some 19 years ago. The pumpkins are trucked down from the Farmington area, grown in the Navajo Nation. It's the closest location to Carlsbad, where conditions are favorable for pumpkins to grow large enough to be made into jack-o'-lantern, said church member Tony Thompson. The St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church pumpkin patch is open every day until Halloween, 3 to 6 on Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 on Saturdays, and 1 to 5 on Sundays. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
It's that time of year again at Lee County Electric, and we can't wait to celebrate with you. Join us for delicious burgers, chips, and dessert at our member appreciation events. Lovington's celebration is at the LCEC Community Room on October 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tatum's is at the Tatum Community Building on October 9th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Plains is at the Plains Community Room on October 10th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please come out, enjoy some good food, and connect with your community. We can't wait to see you there.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Family of Excellence at Lucky Services, Lucky Rental Tool, Lucky Health and Safety, and TRM Trucking encourage you to vote. If you can't make it to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, vote early, but be sure to vote. This year's election will be one of the closest and most consequential in our nation's history, so every vote matters. Thank you for voting and praying for our country and its leaders from the Lucky Family of Excellence. And God bless America.
There is no excuse for not calling 811 before you start your digging project. The call and service are free, and the process is simple. Mark the area where you plan to dig with white paint or white flags, available at most home shopping centers or hardware stores. Then call 811 2 business days before you start digging. Utility companies will arrive and mark any utilities in or near your digging area. For more information, visit nm811.org. A friendly reminder sponsored by your community partner, Zia Natural Gas Company.
Hobbs Trailers has moved from the Lovington Highway to the Carlsbad Highway with a huge selection of trailers, full service, DOT, and rental. including enclosed, gooseneck, tilt, BOP, lowboys, pulley pipe, horse, stock, roll-off, dump, ATV, welding, billy dump, and frac tank. From 3,500 pounds to 100 tons, Hobbs Trailers has it all, offering all parts and repair, any axle, any size. Oil field, BOPs, accumulators in all stations. Hobbs Trailers. Call 575-631-8789 for 24-hour service. Or visit Hobbs Trailers, now at 4710 West Carlsbad Highway. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5. For 24-hour service, call 575-631-8789.
In the who's who of radio, we're a what?
And who are you?
Be in the Breakfast Club, 877-396-W105. Call or text.
Nothing about that show makes sense.
No, back to the show.
Coffee kind of makes me nervous when I drink it.
Welcome to Amazon Prime Big Deal Days. What makes this different from Amazon Prime Day? We only discount personal favorites of Jeff Bezos. That's right. Today and tomorrow only get great deals on Diamond spaceships, private island helipads, jetpacks made of T-Rex bone, Rolex, not Rolex the watch, Rolex, the whole company, a Kraken. We know, Krakens don't exist, but Jeff Bezos paid God to make one. And of course, Rogaine. Amazon Prime Big Deal Days. Hurry, offers are only good while supplies last.
One thing about Jeff Bezos, he got a divorce, went out and found the hottest woman that he could find. She was on TV in Los Angeles. She was a news person. And he went, I would like her to be part of my life.
I want one of those jetpacks made of T-Rex.
Yes. And so he went out and pursued her and rolled out, maybe the checkbook. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And she has taken him and got him to start working out and stuff. He's a different person.
Wow.
He is a different person. That personal trainer has trained him and molded him, Tom. He's a different person.
Well, God bless him.
I think that's the purpose in finding that person. They're supposed to make you better or inspire you to be better.
I mean, when I say molded him, maybe he's a better person. I don't know, but I'm just saying she got him to the gym, and she.
So, did we inspire you to start going to the gym?
No, we hates when I go to the gym. No, because I always encourage her to go to the gym.
So, Tom, which one of those items on that list are you going to get us for Christmas?
Diamond-studded spaceship. I think that'd be good.
T-Rex jetpack.
Yeah.
What are you going to get
any
us
of those?
for Christmas?
I'm down with any of those. By the way, morning, any of them?
Oh, no, I haven't thought about you.
All right, morning show this morning.
And there it is.
Yeah, being brought to you by All American Cleaners. All American Cleaners, they can wash, dry, and fold your clothes. 17 pounds, $16.99. Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, Lovington, and in Hobbs. Find them online at allamericancleaners.net. Dry cleaning, they can take care of all of your cleaning. We'll check the weather in just a second. New studies suggest that blood pressure readings may not be accurate unless a person's arm is positioned correctly. But even the condition of our current president, they keep checking his pulse, thinking that, does he actually have a pulse? So they say that your blood, when checking your blood pressure, your arm should be as high as your heart, but not higher. No, that's too high. Your heart is here. So it should be here.
He looked at his arm when you said that.
Your heart is not in your arm.
I put my hand over my heart. That'll take care of it.
So they say that blood pressure. I haven't slept. It's like
if you go to the hospital in that little chair that they take it, that armrest is usually at
right
that height.
at the
right.
So yesterday, last night, night before last, I didn't sleep good. Tried to take a nap yesterday. Didn't sleep good. Couldn't go to sleep. Last night, went to bed at 10, woke up at 12:30. Listened to the wife snore for a while. And then eventually, I guess, fell asleep and then woke back up at 3:30 before my alarm. I was like, what the hell is going on?
That happens to me every night.
That's because you sleep all day.
Nope. Couldn't sleep yesterday.
You're sleeping in the studio with us.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. But check your blood
just wanted
pressure.
to come see me on the overnight
Yeah.
show.
According to a brand new poll, Memphis, Tennessee is ranked America's most unsafe city, which is truly remarkable since Detroit still exists. But Detroit has lost a lot of
Yeah, a lot of them moved
population.
to Memphis.
Yeah.
They went to Memphis.
It's fall in Memphis. So get out your vest.
And it's very much an area specific thing. in
Yeah.
Memphis.
Oh, yeah. So get out your vest, and we're not talking about your vest to stay warm. We're talking about the bulletproof vest.
And unfortunately for tourists, where Graceland is one of the violent hotspots.
That's
Really.
not a good. That's not a good area. Parking garages owned by the city of Tampa are free until Thursday at 5 p.m. And they suggest parking on the third level or higher.
Right.
Why?
Floodwaters.
Oh,
right.
So they're saying that everybody can park their cars. I didn't snap for a second. So everybody can park their cars. When they're saying 3 stories high, what does that tell you? They're expecting a little water?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Little bit of water.
Yeah.
Well, and because parking garages structurally are probably the most sound
Yeah.
building around.
Yeah.
And so that's where your car is going to be safest.
Yeah. Scientists have measured Washington's Mount Rainier, and due to the warmer temperatures and the height of the mountain is now 10 feet shorter. 10 feet shorter than it was before.
Because of snow melt?
They're thinking because of warmer temperatures, Blake. This global warming has caused...
How in the world, heat causes things to expand, right? That's a physics property.
Tom, does cold weather cause shrinkage?
Does it cause things to contract?
I'm sure it does. But if you're on TV, things get a little bit.
Oh, please do tell.
Yeah,
Well-
I got to hear the rest of this statement.
Well, TV studios are usually 50 degrees because of all the equipment that's in that TV studio.
Because of the lights.
Yes.
And
so when the guests the hosts are doing their job, and even if you see news, you can see that.
Are you trying to say that?
Wait. Let him finish. Let him finish.
You can see that they stiffen up.
So you try stiffen up.
What do you mean?
Well, they get cold.
Stiffen up. And we just used the word shrinkage and stiffen up.
And so the cold makes you stiffen up and not shrink?
Well, if you see the women on the show.
Oh, please don't go there.
You can see they stiffen up.
What? I don't understand what you're saying, Tom.
I
Please
don't
elaborate.
Well, that's natural. I mean, everybody stiffens up when it's cold.
How do you specifically said women?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Why are you looking at a woman?
What do you mean they stiffen up? Their arm won't move right?
Well, they're slower. They're stiffen up.
Oh, God bless you. Supreme Court yesterday rejected the appeal from the Texas officer convicted in the killing of a woman through her window. Supreme Court will not hear an appeal from the former Texas police convicted in the death of the woman that he shot through the window of her home.
Maybe she stiffened up.
Yeah, the justices did not detail. It's very cold in the house.
Texters can let him know.
Yeah, the justices did not detail their reasoning behind that decision. So, look, it is a no-no to shoot somebody through a door, through a window, and an officer should know better. Supreme Court on Monday left in place the court order blocking the Biden administration from enforcing the Texas enforcing in Texas its policy requiring hospitals to provide emergency abortion care. So the Supreme Court has sided with Texas on this and said Texas, because of Roe versus Wade, can make their own rules when it comes to emergency abortions. Wow. Just me. I think there's got to be some common sense here, too. I don't think we can go too far on this side or too far to this side. I am against abortion, but when it comes to the death of the mother's life being in danger,
there have to be exceptions.
Yeah, there has to be.
No reasonable person thinks that there
Rape,
should not be
incest, whatever the case is. A man was shot in Midland after wielding a weapon early Monday morning. City of Midland says at about 2 a.m. Monday, officers responded to a call about an individual reportedly walking around with a firearm near the intersection of Lamesa Road and Illinois Avenue. Officers report upon arriving, the officers encountered the shirtless man in the middle of the roadway, visibly holding a gun. They demanded that he drop the weapon. He refused to comply, and things got escalated. He pointed the weapon at them. They discharged a single round, hitting the suspect's leg. He was taken into custody. Texas Rangers is going to investigate the whole thing. So it was not a lethal.
On purpose or not on purpose?
Wake up, sleepy boy.
Looking at the texters. Hello.
Do you think they shot him in the leg on purpose? Or do you think they were just a bad
That's
shot?
what we hear all the time. Why didn't they shoot him in the leg? Because they're trained.
Because it's going to cripple him for life, and then you're going to have to pay for him.
He is going to sue the city of Midland.
Yeah, should have killed him.
He is going to sue him. All right, national anthem and the pledge on the way. Also, we're going to do Taking Out the Trash. Monica, we got the thought for the day being brought to you by Wakefield Oil. Wakefield Oil serving Southeast New Mexico. Quality products, excellent service, dependable, boom or bust. They are there. Diesel, gas, DEF value, interstate batteries, they can deliver to you. WakefieldOil.com, proud sponsor of the thought for the day.
During the day, I don't believe in ghosts. At night, I'm a little more open-minded. However, for myself, I speak on behalf of myself. I've never, ever experienced or seen paranormal.
Stay in
this. So
building.
what you're saying is you're calling that to you.
I'm not calling that.
No. Stay in this
Absolutely
building.
not.
Stay in this building for a little while.
Sit over here, and Tom will kick you, and then say he didn't do it. It was a ghost.
It's a ghost. There is a ghost in this place.
I do believe in the spiritual realm. Trust me, I do. I believe in angels. I believe in demons. But I've never experienced, nor do I open myself up to that kind of stuff. But I see
That's
where people
what ghosts are.
Right. I know that people are drawn to that kind of thing. They do those types of.
No,
Not me.
Let me ask. Have you ever been in a situation you're about to do something and it's probably not the right thing, and something tells you not to do it? I hear the voice of my father a lot of times going, "Boy, you're about to get in a world of trouble." You ever get to that? You ever have somebody like that voice telling you?
Yeah, but I never listened to it.
Yeah, well, we believe that. We definitely believe that.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, in what
you listen to his voice?
No, I don't listen to his voice.
Hell no.
I listen to the Holy Spirit most of the time. I mean, he shows me things or whatever. It's not. I'm to each their own, right? They've got their own.
See, that's why the Bible verse for her makes sense.
Yeah. I don't open myself up to those things, but like I said, I know that people do. And at night, of course, is like, what is it? What's the witching hour, Blake?
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I know that a lot of people wake up during that time to do whatever it is.
3 a.m. is called the witching hour because it's believed that is the time of the evening that the spirit realm and the physical realm are most closely connected.
Yeah.
Creepers, jeepers come out.
We probably lost the last moderate Democrat in New Mexico. They are a thing of the past, and they have been replaced with progressive liberals. Case in point, John Arthur Smith.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
John Arthur Smith was replaced by a progressive.
Yeah,
he passed yesterday. Republican Party sent out a message. Look, John Arthur Smith many times worked hand in hand with the Republicans. Worked hand in hand.
Common sense thing.
He was a common sense Democrat. Served in the legislature in District 35 since 1989, all the way to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so he passed away, and thoughts and prayers for his family. There were two people. They resigned pretty much at the same time, if I remember right. Mary Jane, what was her last name, Tom? Poppin, out of Las Cruces. She was a Democrat, and John Arthur Smith. They both crossed over and worked with the Republicans all the time. So John Arthur Smith, probably the last
link to that.
Last conservative Democrats. And there were conservative Democrats back in the day. Biden announcing $2.6 billion for Wisconsin to replace lead pipes. Maybe Roswell should petition Biden to replace those pipes. Why
if only
is it?
they had Democratic leadership.
Wait a second. Tim Jennings is Democrat. Lifelong Democrat.
They're going to get it done. You watch.
They're going to get it done on the backs of the people?
Yes, exactly. Don Lemon. Don Lemon.
What an idiot.
Suggesting the Virgin Mary's husband. His name was?
Joseph.
Ding, ding.
Was a gay guy.
Gay?
Was
Oh
a
my
gay guy.
Oh, God.
So,
That guy's
look,
going straight to hell.
This guy is trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
So he was on CNN. He was the king of CNN. He
Well, he
could
thought
get
he
away
was.
with murder. I don't know if you remember several years ago, he was doing the New Year's Eve special.
I don't remember.
Him and his boyfriend were out at
Oh, I
a
remember
club, and he got highly intoxicated on the air and forgot that he was supposed to do a broadcast, and they still didn't fire him.
Wow.
They were like, let's go to Don now. Oh, there he is, kissing in the corner.
Wow.
Yeah, not a good look for Don Lemon. Not at all.
So, if he thinks Joseph was gay, where does he think Jesus's brother James came from?
Yeah.
Because Joseph and Mary obviously got together for that.
Yeah. So
My question is,
they
why is-
call her Virgin Mary,
Yes.
but she didn't stay a virgin forever.
No, after Jesus was born, then they became
brothers.
Yeah, they became active.
They became
Yes.
brothers?
What?
They became brothers?
No, Jesus's brother was James.
Yes, Jesus had a brother named James.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what he said. 65% of Americans saw their first horror movie before they were 11 years old. Are you a fan of horror movies? I am not.
Absolutely not.
Luke Cheney was my favorite werewolf guy.
Who?
Luke Cheney,
Who is Luke Cheney?
the werewolf guy.
Was that Dick Cheney's brother? Is that Liz Cheney's uncle?
I think the word that he's looking for is Lon Cheney.
Well, it's in the neighborhood.
It is not, and you just kicked me again.
Why are you kicking people over there?
That's the second time today.
Why are you kicking people?
What a baby.
That's
What a diva.
assault. That's assault.
Yeah, Lon Chaney was a werewolf.
Yes. All right, Kamala Harris goes on on 60 Minutes. Now, Donald Trump said he wasn't going to go on 60 Minutes. Here's Kamala, and she can't even answer a question. I will say this much: this was a pretty good interview because he did call her on things.
Yes,
right.
He did call her on things. Here's the question, and she can't answer.
That when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Right.
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us, who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations. And I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
Here's the problem. The richest of the rich, the millionaires and billionaires, pay like 60% of all taxes in America.
What is fair share?
And what these people do not understand, there is a difference between individual tax and corporate tax. So when they say Donald Trump hasn't paid income tax in 15 years.
That's not true.
It's not true. He paid income tax.
Yes.
Corporations are set up that they take a lot of deductions.
Corporations are not individuals.
No, they're not individuals. And they take deductions just like, you know, I will take deductions. And sometimes, some years, they don't pay taxes. They can defer paying taxes and write off a bunch of stuff in one year, but the next year it's going to catch up with them. Look, we wouldn't have this problem if we just charge a flat tax.
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, everybody pays taxes. If you're poor,
everyone pays their fair share with a flat tax.
So everybody pays 15%.
Or whatever it is.
I'm talking about if you make $1,000 a year, you pay. And I hate to tell you, but earned income credit would be gone. Corporate welfare
that would be one of the
gone.
best things that we could do.
It would be
eliminating a heavy progressive income tax would be the best thing you could do.
Because right now, somebody sitting at home can go to work for 1 month or 2 months, make $2,000 a year, and come back and get $4,000 a kid. So I always like to ask people when they say, well, I pay taxes. Well, what is your net tax rate after you deduct everything? How much are you paying in taxes?
A little over 35.5%.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would be surprised that they don't pay taxes.
Right.
That's
true.
They pay zero taxes.
And I'm open to negotiation to figure out where that flat tax needs to be. And I'm okay with a floor. Like whatever the poverty line is, if you're below the poverty line, I can say that for a flat tax, you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I am not.
But for negotiation's sake, I am.
Yeah.
Because again, getting rid of the heavy progressive income tax is a step one of the biggest steps we can make in the right direction.
So
and it gets us away from the Communist Manifesto.
Yep. Kamala.
I agree with you, Blake.
Yeah, I think that if we make people pay their fair share, they got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair share.
Yeah.
You know, they keep wanting to talk
They
about
keep
fair
talking
share.
about fair share. Let's make
That's
fair
the
share.
most
Everybody
fair
pays.
share.
I think a better plan is a consumption plan where everybody pays. That way, people that pay no taxes and
national sales tax.
and take part in illegal activities, but buy big screen TVs and all kind of stuff, they're going to pay.
Yeah.
They're
I
gonna
agree
pay.
with that too.
I
Either
think-
one.
Yeah.
And actually, you could do a combination of a flat tax
and a
national sales
Yeah,
tax.
agreed.
And that would
Offset.
cover everything.
All right, Kamala, here's another cut from Call Her Daddy podcast. That has 2 million followers.
You know how many times
That's part of Barstool.
Yeah, but that thing has been with the mentions in the last couple days.
Oh, yeah, it exploded.
Yeah.
It exploded. So here's Kamala on Call Her Daddy.
Almost 1 in 4 Gen Z and millennials say they don't want to have kids because it's too damn expensive. How are you going to help young people not feel left behind?
So, first of all, it's a very real issue.
Wait. First of all, I come from a middle-class house.
issue, and we need to take it seriously. And I do take it very seriously.
Very.
So there are a number of issues that contribute to that feeling. One is housing is too.
Housing shortage. Yeah, they can't get the hell out of their mom and dad's house.
There's a housing shortage because she let 21 million illegal foreigners in here.
Yeah. When it comes to relief efforts, this former Green Beret Tim Kennedy talked about FEMA and about the support that they have gotten. Just move the hell out of the way.
Yep.
Let people do what needs to be done.
Has every priority wrong. They didn't know what to do or where to do it, how to access these mountains. They were turning people away, trying to deliver funds. They were telling helicopters to land. The president's coming in and creating a no-fly zone when the president arrives while we're doing airborne evacuations. None of it made sense. Complete failure by the state, specifically the governor, to not give permission to the 82nd and the 101st. And then for FEMA to come and start impeding the efforts of organizations like ours, Save Our Allies, trying to get in and deliver goods, it's inconscionable.
This guy had delivered over 250,000 pounds of goods and started the day after air vacuuming people when FEMA was nowhere to be seen.
Right.
6 days, 7 days later, FEMA shows up. And this guy, he was already there. I can't play this cut because I was supposed to edit it. Donald Trump actually used the S word. Donald Trump used Donald Trump.
He's a cusser.
Yeah, he's a big time cusser. I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to download it and go back to it and bleep it out. Yeah, he's a big time cusser from way back. Xcel Energy submits a proposal for a $53 million customer refund in Texas. So if you live in Texas, Xcel could be giving refunds.
Well, part of southeast New Mexico here has Xcel as well.
Yeah, but this is just in Texas. So Xcel Energy submitted a proposal to refund $53.3 million in fuel costs to Texas customers. That will result in a one-time credit against electric charges during the December billing month. So they are going to go ahead and credit people, and so people will actually be getting a little bump.
Right on.
So any money that people, that was me, any money people can get from Xcel, I would take the money.
Yeah.
I would take the money.
And I do want to point out that Xcel is one of those Minnesota companies.
Yeah, they are.
And they backed Tampon Tim.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about an 18-year-old charged with human smuggling. I will get to that. We didn't do the price of oil, did we, Tom? Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, a division of CUD Energy Services. Good people doing awesome things across southeast New Mexico, also serving the oil patch in Texas and in Oklahoma. Cementing Solutions with Spinnaker. And Spinnaker is built to service the largest drilling programs all across the patch. They're dedicated to leading the way with cementing solutions while ensuring premium quality service delivered right to the wellhead. Get in touch with them today. Spinnaker Oilfield. You can Spinnaker Cementing Solutions.com for more information. SpinnakerOil.com for more information, I should say. Find them in Hobbs on Magnum Industrial Road. Equal opportunity employer, of course, a drug-free employer.
West Texas Intermediate, $74.94. $78.71 for Brent crude. And the price of natural gas is $2.70.
All right, another day in paradise. Weather for today, it's going to be a warm day, and a warming trend continues with temperatures getting into the 90s. Check on the weather being brought to you by Janco Janitorial. Find them right there on West Main in Artesia or at JancoJanitorial.com. They do commercial cleaning, industrial cleaning, and oil field cleaning. Their folks are certified and trained. They also can sell you commercial-grade cleaning supplies. Find them online at JancoJanitorial.com or call Amber today, 575-703-1869. Need somebody to go in and do all your window cleaning and your office cleaning and your stripping and waxing and so much more. JancoJanitorial.com. Tom?
All right, B, we got an accident to report this morning. Accident on Highway 176 east of State Line from Eunice, about 4 or 5 miles, says the text. right at the big windmills chemical spill all over the road. The texter says, take Seminole or Nadine or go to Andrews. Again, an accident on 176 east of State Line from Eunice, like 4 to 5 miles, right at the big windmills. Chemical spills all over the road, says the text. Take Seminole or Nadine or go to Andrews. This report being brought to you by
Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Monica?
All right. I pay lots more since both of my children are grown and moved out. What about me? Talking about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Perot wanted flat tax years ago.
Yep. And by the way, Ross Perot also.
I was in the third grade when Ross Perot ran.
Yeah, Ross Perot did not like the deal with NAFTA. It
Never
has
did.
killed jobs in America. Why would we give away American jobs? I just don't understand.
Did you hear that sucking sound?
Look, Ross Perot is the reason that we got Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Doing away
And
with
I'm not sure that was a bad thing. And yes, I'm saying that because George Bush Sr. in many ways was more liberal than what Bill Clinton did.
Tom, are you sure Ross Perot said that? It wasn't Bill Clinton?
No, it was Ross. You hear that sucking sound?
Okay.
doing away with New York and California's federal tax credit would make a big difference.
Here's the
Says
other
the
thing.
texter.
Social Security should never be taxed on a federal level, on a state level. I don't care how much you make. You've paid taxes already on Social Security. It shouldn't be taxed.
Blake, please ask Tom what the definition of global warming is.
Okay, Tom, what is the definition of global warming?
It doesn't exist.
Wait, hold up a second. Tom scores one again.
No, he didn't give me the definition.
There's
What
no,
is
no definition.
What is the definition of global
It's
warming?
a totally different term now, I think they use.
What is the definition of Bigfoot?
He don't exist.
I saw him,
The
Tom.
Loch Ness Monster.
I saw him, too.
Hoax.
What is the definition of a UFO?
Never seen one.
What is the definition of your love life?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, it doesn't exist.
Ay, ay, ay.
I asked, just because he can't give an answer, I still ask the question.
All right, and let's see. Remember Katrina? They blamed Bush for the storm and not showing up fast enough. What's the difference now?
Same thing.
I don't remember that.
Same thing.
They did.
Yeah, look.
Did they?
George Bush did a terrible job. I don't care if he's from Midland.
He showed up way too late.
Too late.
But they did blame him. They said that storm happened because of George W. Bush.
Yeah, I'm not blaming George W. Bush, but his reaction was they went out there. They went out there and willy-nilly and handed out debit cards, Visa debit cards, just like to anybody, people that were not affected by the storm.
Just lined up to get something for free.
Yeah,
Got it.
no. And then word spread.
And look, New Orleans hadn't been the same since.
No.
Hey, Blake.
They are giving out free debit cards.
Get back
free
in line.
Debit cards.
Get back
and
in
some
line.
people
Do it
went.
again.
You're making fun.
No,
there are some people that went back in line 3 or 4 times.
Blake,
And
did
they
you
had
see-
two different places they were doing it, and they would go back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That's embarrassing.
There are people making bank.
see?
Did you see that video of a government helicopter flying low and over a Cajun Navy supply drop in North Carolina? It blew supplies all over the place, and then the helicopter just flies off. It looked very intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
I'm sure.
I believe it was. I'll say it that way.
And Cry Me a River, Blake. Cry Me a River. It's
Okay.
a freaking tap. Chill out.
What?
I don't know what they're referring to.
I don't know what they're referring to either. I have to go look. What are you referring to?
Yeah, what are you referring to, Texter?
Where's
Tom?
Hey, John from Eunice is chiming in, and he says, see, guys, that's the problem. The left wants abortions to be allowed no matter what and no matter what. And then the right goes to the other extreme, and Texas won't allow an abortion no matter what.
Look,
the
I just
circumstances.
say, and I think there's got to be some middle ground, some common sense.
Well, I'm like you, Kevin, says the text. I think some common sense needs to be brought into this, but neither side is willing to meet in the middle, says John from Eunice this morning. And UFO means ugly fat one. Says the texter. Okay. And there you go.
18-year-old charged with human smuggling while attempting to cause a crash in West El Paso. 18-year-old Andre Morrow is charged with human smuggling, evading arrest, and he's got a handful and had a 6-year-old in the car. 6-year-old in the car at the same time. Okay, what the heck happened? I had the story this morning from the Hobbs PD, and I haven't come across of it. So
Was
they
it
are
about that young lady?
Yes,
that
they are
drug her girlfriend
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
and murdered her.
I just said, I looked at her picture.
Yeah.
She's easy to spot with that haircut.
Absolutely.
With that,
So they're looking for 21-year-old Alexis Sines. So that's
that name sounds
She was
familiar.
arrested and charged with homicide by vehicle involving the death of 19-year-old Ajaya Baca in November of 23.
Yes, that's
she
right.
she ran over her.
Yeah.
She was scheduled for a hearing regarding the violations of the conditions of her release on October 4th, but she didn't appear for that. And she removed her GPS monitor.
Oh, wow.
She now has an outstanding bench warrant through the 5th Judicial Court. She's 5'3", 118 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair.
And a funky,
very distinctive haircut. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I went to school with her parents.
Oh.
Both of them. Her dad was a very put together man. He was a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he works at the prison in Hobbs.
They may have info on where she's at.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
And,
if you do, please contact detectives at Hobbs Police or call Crime Stoppers.
And I actually was a substitute teacher when she was in junior high school.
That's
and I
just
remember
sad.
her. She had a little bit of an attitude. She was an angry girl. I do remember that.
The photo kind of looks that way.
Yeah, and so you know when you can say you're not surprised when people make
Well, she
the
was
choices that they
she
make?
was rebelling, and she went and got that damn haircut first.
Well, I tell you.
Well, I think she's dabbled in what she is.
But here's the deal. She murdered somebody, and you let her out.
That's right.
I mean,
that's the bigger picture.
what the hell?
Gosh, I keep
That was
bumping this mic.
because the girl that she ran over in 2023. I had to remember this for a second.
Yeah, that's why
that
her
was
name was
It was her
familiar.
girlfriend.
It was her girlfriend.
And threw her out of the car. Right? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the girl was trying to get out of the car because they were fighting, and Alexis is very abusive. So she
Yeah.
was getting out of the car, I guess, to escape.
Yeah,
the
and she hit the
abuse.
gas,
Yeah.
which threw her out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she died a couple days later. So
Right.
it's not even like she died right then.
Right.
She suffered for several days.
Yeah.
So sad.
Migrant caravan, another migrant caravan departs the southern Mexico and headed for the U.S. border. They say this one is about 8,000 strong. People coming from Venezuela, Guatemala, and God forbid where.
Is there anyone
else.
left in the prisons in Venezuela?
No, they pretty much let them all out. Yeah. By the way, a newcomer,
Illegal foreigner.
4 of them,
Illegal foreigner.
illegal alien arrested for allegedly beating and robbing a Dallas woman at her home. By the way, she was up there in age, and they beat her and robbed her last month. And I will say this again. If you come to this country and you commit these type of crimes, throw them in jail. And at some point, we're going to have to implant people. We're going to have to put a detector that when you cross the border again, your legs explode. Or we get a notification. Either way. I mean, I'll go either way. When you beat up an elderly woman and steal $75,000 in her property, I ain't got no use for you.
Right.
You know how in movies that they sometimes do those like collars on the neck, and if you mess with it, it explodes?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that on their ankle
I
monitors?
think that would be great.
So then they can't take it off, and that would solve the thing for this girl that went missing.
Yeah.
No, but then they'll say, "Oh, that's
Well, unless
humane, unhumane."
Well,
Is it-
we need to
is
get
it
away
really?
from that. It's not humane. We need to get away from that.
Did what they do to their victims, was that humane?
We need to get away from that. All right, check of the weather this morning being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, registering people to vote. Tom was with him this past weekend, getting people registered to vote, and they're going to be doing it again this weekend as early voting starts. I encourage you, Randy encourages you, Tom encourages you to get out and vote. Register if you're not registered to vote. It's not a hard process.
No.
It's a one-page,
very simple form.
very,
Takes 3
very
minutes tops.
simple form. Get in touch with Randy Pettigrew. Go to the website, randallpettigrew.com. Follow him on Facebook. Find out registration drives, the next one that will be coming up. And just a reminder, you can always go to the clerk.
Yep.
You can always
any
go to
county clerk.
any of your county clerks and get registered. Message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. RandallPettigrew.com for more information. 87 and sunny today. Clear tonight, 59. 89 and sunny tomorrow. We're back in the 90s by Thursday. It's going to be quite warm. Melania Trump, she was on Fox, and she talked about being canceled. Now, if Melania Trump wants to take her own money, I have to remind people that she was a millionaire before she got with Donald Trump. So,
she believes in a lot of charity.
yes.
She does a lot of charitable work.
And she wanted to give money for foster kids so they could go to college.
Okay.
So she had a program set up,
Right.
and she was paying for kids.
To go to school.
Those colleges found out that it was Melania Trump paying, and they didn't want her money.
Oh my God.
So Melania Trump talks about being canceled.
I was all agreed that they will accept my donations for the foster students, and because of the board directors, they called back. They found out that it was me. They didn't. They said we cannot go on, and it's very, very sad because who suffered? They were children from foster community. They didn't have a scholarship that somebody will provide for them. They didn't want to do business with me because of political affiliation, my political beliefs. And, that was one of them, one of the canceling projects.
She had bank accounts that they told that she was told that they were going to close her bank accounts for her businesses.
Man, that's cold.
That is awful.
I mean,
That is
you're
so
going to make
awful.
the kids suffer because you don't like Donald Trump? Liberals.
It is so sad the amount of pride that went into that decision.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, and that just goes to show you that they're using their political affiliation to quiet someone else's political.
Amen. Wow.
And it wasn't even political.
No.
It was a donation.
Yep.
Right.
Which tells you where people on the left place the value.
By the way, let me just say this. Racist liberal today, if you want to give me $1,000, I will take your $1,000.
I will take your
I'm just
$1,000.
saying,
No, they're not giving. They are the worst at giving to charities.
I mean,
Hey, racist liberal, that's a good question for you specifically. So, me being a conservative, Republican, whatever you want to title me, if I were to give you $1,000, just say, hey, come up to this station, I'd like to bless you with $1,000. Are you going to turn it away simply because of what I identify as?
I'm taking
Or
money.
are you going to take it?
I'm taking money.
Because I will gladly take your money, racist liberal.
we would hear that.
Yeah, but they
And
don't donate
Trump
to charities.
obsessed
And you
hater.
have
I'll take your money.
you have
Real
people
quick.
like Melania giving money to this charity.
Right.
And the left,
They don't want it.
no, if you take all of Congress and all the political leaders, the worst donators to charities are liberals.
Right.
They preach a good game of wanting to take care of your other people, but they don't want to take care of other people with their money. They want to take care of other people with your money.
That's right.
Because they don't believe in actually what they're doing.
By the way, racist liberal, if you want to sponsor this show with your own message, I would accept the money.
Go for it.
I would
Absolutely.
accept the money.
Yep.
MIT study finds that businesses' benefit of public EV charging stations is on the decline, about 83%.
Huh.
So
Imagine.
yeah. And then our governor is trying to force businesses to have to take money out of their pocket to build these charging stations.
Again, they want to spend your money to do their policies, not take the money they already have.
Now, who funds a gas station? Tom, who funds a gas station?
Convenience stores.
And he says it like it's the right damn answer.
Well, you asked me.
Businesses fund gas stations.
Well, yeah, they do. That's what I'm
So
saying.
if it's 7-Eleven, they're going to pay for put the gas pumps in. So why wouldn't it be the same with these electric charging stations?
Again, the left always wants to force someone else to do something.
I guess. Crazy. Hispanic poll. New polling numbers with Hispanics in the Southwest swing states, Arizona and Nevada in particular. Young Hispanics dig Donald Trump.
Right.
Young Hispanics dig Donald Trump. Less than a month to go before this election. And Vice President Kamala Harris, her numbers among young people are way down. If you look at her numbers, when you look at when you look at Joe Biden and her numbers are down. But when you look at Nevada and Arizona, Trump is leading with Hispanics 57 to 38%.
Whoa.
And most of those people that are voting for Trump are actually young Hispanics. Not the older Hispanics, but young Hispanics. So Kamala Harris is not doing good with young Hispanics. Bank of America grappling with the backlash over the Arab workers' moment of silence for victims on October 7th. Tom, what was October 7th?
That was the attack on Israel. Killed over 1,200
anniversary.
people. Yeah.
Anniversary. So Bank of America scrambling to put a lid on the moment of silence that angered Jewish employees and, more importantly, customers.
Wow. Take my money out today.
Bank of America.
I haven't used one of the big banks in a long time.
Bank of America. Unbelievable. And a man facing charges of soliciting undercover cop for sex. Rafael Rojas, 28 years old, accused of trying to have sex with a minor. New Mexico Department of Justice undercover agent posing as a 15-year-old girl. Says Rojas used his social media to try to meet up with the 15-year-old girl. It was actually an agent.
Right.
We could just use one of them little mini guillotines, and we'll fix that problem.
Yes. Some cases, mini guillotine. By the way, you know, there are places that do the castration. There are places that do the chemical castration. I think Louisiana is the only state that does the actual castration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Snip.
I don't even want to visualize it.
Bueno, bye, pee-pee. Yes. I don't know if they use the guillotine. I don't know how they do it. I you know, maybe a rusty knife.
Some of them rubber bands.
We're going to take a break in a second.
Silent.
We got to get to the national anthem and the pledge. Yvette Hurl's going to be on in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by A Custom Construction and Roofing, your roofing and insurance specialists. Licensed, bonded, insured, veteran-owned and operated by Dwayne Penning. 30-plus years in the business, 30-plus years of having the A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They offer free estimates. They do more than roofing, too. Get in touch with Dwayne. 575-318-9725. Just a warning. Beware of the unlicensed out-of-town contractors because When they're gone, your warranty is gone. Vance, J.D. Vance, talking about it's time to bring the American hostages home. I don't even want to hear about a ceasefire.
No.
Here's what Vance said.
There are literal pro-Hamas protesters around the country calling for a ceasefire. And what they're really calling for is for a unilateral surrender. I have a different message. The only way this war is going to end is when Hamas gives up its arms and stops the fighting and lets the hostages come home. That is the way to end this conflict.
Yeah, why are we playing around?
Well, and some Democrats, I find it interesting, are actually waking up. Representative Haley Stevens, a Democrat in Michigan, said they were misled because they thought Hamas seemed like they could negotiate, but came to the realization they don't care. They do not care.
No.
And now they're switching.
Yeah. Awesome. Michael Cohen. You remember the name?
Attorney
Michael Cohen,
for
Donald
Donald.
Trump's personal attorney.
Yep.
Michael
One of
Cohen
them.
is the one that gave Stormy Daniels the money and signed the non-disclosure form. It wasn't Donald Trump.
No.
It was Michael Cohen.
Well, he did that thinking that he would get moved to the White House. You got to remember,
Right.
this is before
Yeah,
Donald
he
Trump
was-
was president. So he thought that he would be on the legal team going forward because he was such a big deal. And now he's mad because he wasn't.
All right.
Very mad. Here's what he said. He was on the Jen Paskey show.
Oh, my God.
I
And
can't believe she's got a show.
yeah,
Well, it's got 5 people watching.
Yeah, here's what he said about Donald Trump coming after you. Could be with SEAL Team 6.
Says he intends to do. And when he turns around and says, Jen, to, like the head of this network or other people who are critics, that he intends to use SEAL Team 6 or the military within which to round up his critics or his opponents, he intends to do it. And I say that with firsthand experience.
When has Donald Trump said this? He has never said that.
SEAL Team 6, isn't that the unit that the Biden administration got many members of killed
Yes.
by giving out secret information?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, take it out trash being brought to you by Trash Eaters, trash-eaters.com. They have the 96-gallon poly carts, 2 and 4 yard dumpsters. If you need them to drop off a roll-off container on location, they can haul away all your waste. Kayleen standing by this morning, 575-408-1719. Or go to the website, trash-eaters.com, veteran-owned and operated. So, Keith Olbermann.
Joke.
Yeah.
Host of, former host of MSNBC.
And ESPN sports anchor.
Called for Elon Musk to be deported.
For real.
Saying that Biden needs to get him the F out of the country.
That's rude.
He's a citizen now.
So
Yeah,
how do you deport
A citizen?
citizens? Because if
You
we can
don't.
deport citizens, I've got a long list of people that I want deported.
Yeah.
I'm starting with you, Tom. Yeah. Yeah. You going back to your roots.
Why would I want to do that? I'm Texan.
No habla español.
We
I go
don't
back.
claim you.
I go back to Texas.
You're going back
No,
to Texas.
no.
They don't want you. They don't want you.
We're on our own country.
So, Overman calling for Elon Musk to be deported. Elon, first of all, you can't deport citizens. I
No.
wish we could. Secondly, Elon Musk is one of the most brilliant minds in the world
Sure.
that owns businesses here that generate taxes for the American people. Why would we want to deport Elon Musk? Oh, I got it.
Because he's against Kamala.
He hurt your feelings.
Right.
Oh, he hurt your feelings. Your feelings got hurt. That's why. Oh,
Because it's always political. It's never about what's beneficial.
I felt so bad for Keith Olbermann. I didn't even ball him up to throw him in the trash. That's how bad I felt for him. All right, we're going to do...
Here's the thing. You took out the trash?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't Keith Olbermann be deported?
I don't like him. I'm just wondering, why shouldn't he have to go?
Right. If he's wanting another citizen deported.
I think we should. All right, quick to the text this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Atlas Maker Mirror and Grooming Tool, ×1, ×5, ×10 magnification. LED lights, it's very bright. Travels easy with a traveling case. This thing weighs less than 4 pounds. Comes with the wall mount version. 575-631-3189. Go to the website, atlasmakermirror.com. You can like them on Facebook and Instagram. Check out all the videos. They're available on the website. All you got to do is go to the website, order it. A couple days, it arrives. And Christmas is not that far away, so you ought to start thinking about Christmas. And, guys, it's a grooming tool, too. So if the wife wants it, it's not like you're not going to use it. So go ahead and get it for her. Yeah, it's a grooming tool. 10 minutes away from 8, Tom.
All right, Texter says, bueno, bye, PP. Might be the funniest thing B ever said on the show, says the text. Okay.
Bueno, bye.
Bueno, bye, PP. Oh, by the way, Frank is chiming in, too. The darn left is vested in charging stations. We were talking about that earlier. That's why.
Speaking of charging stations, let me read this one really quick, Tom.
Okay.
Joe from Rig Outfitter said, I just jumped on listening to you guys. I caught the back end of the conversation about the power stations. You guys know I'm building a new store, and I found out the state is mandating that I put in a certain amount of those power stations for charging cars. It will be over $100,000 out of my pocket to put these in. Nobody will use them. What will happen? The lines from and to the cars to charge them. They'll be stealing those lines all the time because of the copper in them.
Amen.
Guess who will have to pay for that? You know, Joe, you are absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why businesses do not want to come to New Mexico and do business. Because extra $100,000. You're wanting somebody to invest their hard-earned money to put up a charging station that they ain't got no skin in the game. They don't want your charging station. If the state thinks it's such a good idea, the state should pay for it.
Yep. Yes,
but
sir.
Here's a better idea. The people that have electric cars,
they should pay for it.
They should pay for it.
Just put an extra tax on an electric vehicle purchase.
They're already getting off easy because they're using the highways and not paying the gas tax.
Right.
The gas tax is to rehab the highways.
And their vehicles are twice as heavy because of the batteries.
Right.
So the road destruction comes faster.
I want you to think about that. They're using the roads, but they have no skin in the game. That is not fair to gas-powered cars. That is not fair to diesel automobiles. I saw something yesterday. Is diesel cheaper than gas now?
There's some places
it might be. I haven't looked at it recently.
Diesel has always been much higher than gas.
Much higher.
There have been a few times where it's closer, but I don't know if it is right now.
I thought it was cheaper the other day.
But you mentioned, and I have a friend.
Also depends on where you get it. Stop kicking me.
I'm sorry.
So that's the third time.
You mentioned about business not wanting to start here in New Mexico. I got a friend who has a food truck here in Lovington. And she was banned she had to redo her permit, right? But
a food truck?
Yeah. But then she had to do a lot of things she hadn't done before. One of them was to put porta potties right beside her food truck. I said, I can't do that. I won't be able to do business. So, yeah.
So we gone from spending $100,000 to porta potties, having to put up porta potties.
Well, stupid stuff the government wants you to do. That's why you can't go into business here in the town, here in New Mexico.
I appreciate that analogy.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Well, did you mention that you were going to talk about it on the air and they were going to give you some free food? Is that this deal?
No.
This texter said the state is putting a mandate on electric stations on private businesses. Isn't that considered dictatorship?
Yes.
And not only that, on homeowners. That when you build a new home, you have to have the capability the infrastructure to put in a charging station.
And not just your own new home, developers are going to be doing this because they'll have to put it in for when they build a subdivision. Then guess who's going to have to pay that?
That's right.
It goes on and on.
It artificially inflates the
crazy.
cost of a home.
All right, Yvette Harrell is going to be on the way. Let's get to things that happened on this date in history, being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, owned and operated by Dwayne Pennick and the family. Dwayne is a veteran, would love to chat with you about firearms. Also, if you're thinking about getting a suppressor, right now the wait for approval is getting less and less, but you can still go to the range with your suppressor and shoot at the range. They've got an indoor shooting range. They've got the Milo FBI training simulator. This thing is state of the art. Find out more information. They also are carrying a brand new line called King Camo. They offer financing for your tools of the trade. I don't want to call it a weapon. Yeah, that might trigger somebody. So
trigger, you can say.
Yeah.
Triggle.
So triggle. Yeah, we're going to call it triggle. So it's a weapon. It's a tool.
It is a tool.
It is a tool. So get in there, 236 East Navajo, the largest selection of firearms around, 2atacticalrange.com. See them today. Proud sponsor, things that happen on this date in history.
It was on this day in 1604 that a supernova called Kepler's nova was first sighted.
Wow.
So why was it a supernova? Well, because it was faster than a speeding bullet and may have been more powerful than a locomotive, but locomotives weren't invented yet. On this date in 1871, the Great Chicago Fire began. Destroyed 17,000 buildings and killed more than 200 people.
Oh.
What year was that?
1871.
And it was the cow that started the fire.
In 1896, Dow Jones started reporting an average of industrial stocks. On this date in 1935, future sitcom stars Ozzie and Harriet were married. Do you remember that, Tom?
They didn't sleep in the same bed.
In 1940, the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series in Game 7 as they defeated the Detroit Tigers 2-1 in 10 innings. On this day in 1945, President Truman announced the atomic bomb secrets would only be shared with Britain and Canada. Guess Russia and China started stealing them right after that.
Sure.
1956, Don Larson pitched the only perfect game in the World Series.
Against the Brooklyn Dodgers.
And on this day in 1957, Jerry Lee Lewis recorded Great Balls of Fire. Tom, what was it inspired by?
He was married to his 14-year-old, wasn't it?
Nope, it was inspired by a sterno spill.
Oh.
In 1957, speaking of the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers announced they were moving to L.A.
Yep.
And on this day in 66, the U.S. government banned the drug LSD, which ironically these days might help us make more sense of the government. And in 1968, Cass Elliot debuted as a solo act at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, though some people said she was still a group. And on this day in 78, Kenneth Warby set a world speed record at 514 kilometers per hour. Tom, how fast was that in miles per hour?
It's about 1,000 miles an hour.
How many?
514.
Oh, it's in the neighborhood.
It is not even close. You went the wrong direction. In 1997, the Martian probe Pathfinder yielded evidence that the planet may have supported life, or, at least a Starbucks or two.
On water, yes.
And in 1999, Michael Jackson's wife, you remember her? What was her name, Tom? No, it was Debbie Rowe. She filed for divorce and cited irreconcilable differences. She got to keep the other glove.
Right.
In 2001, the Office of Homeland Security was founded, 4 weeks after the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Also on this day in 2001, Rush Limbaugh announced that he had gone deaf. Some people blamed it on the Oxycontin, but that was never proven. And in 2003, Californians recalled their governor, Gray Davis, and replaced him with the Governator, a.k.a. Arnold Does the housekeeper come with the governor's mansion? Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Today is National American Touch Tag Day. We talked about that. Peanut Butter Day, Pierogi Day, and National Hero Day. 4 weeks from today, people get out and vote. Bruno Mars is 39 today. Who is that?
He's the guy that sang a big hit.
Yeah, he's of course, he's the subject of the book, Women Are From Venus, Bruno from Mars.
Right.
The Masked Singer host, Nick Cannon, turns 44 today. Matt Damon turns 54 today. He and Ben Affleck are like brothers, but Matt would be the successful one. Robert Bell is 74 today. Who is that, Tom?
Never heard of him.
He is the Cool of Cool in the Gang.
Oh, is he?
Sigourney Weaver turned 75. Name a movie she was in.
Aliens.
Oh, ding, ding. That was not the one I thought he was going for.
I was going to say the same thing.
Chevy Chase turns 81 today. Who is he?
Vacation star.
Yeah,
Holiday
National Lampoon's
Row.
Vacation.
And an original member of the cast of
SNL.
Yes. R.L. Stein is 81 today.
The author?
The author of the Goosebumps series. Jesse Jackson is 83.
Jesse. Come on.
Politician?
Jesse. I am a pastor, and I impregnated that young girl.
And one last one, Paul Hogan turns 85 today. Tom, what is he better known as?
The Gator Man. The
Hulk
alligator man.
Hogan?
Paul Hogan?
Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
Oh.
the alligator guy.
And
So what's Hulk Hogan's real name? Hulk?
Terry something.
Terry Jones or Johnson? or
he said it at the
Jackson.
convention.
Texters?
Yeah.
Anybody?
And from today, it is 23 days till Halloween.
Are you guys
Whoopee.
dressing up?
They were just showing how much money this bailout of student loans.
Yeah.
And it was something like $120 billion.
Get out.
And that's been outlawed already
Right.
by the Supreme Court. Do you think it is a bad, disrespectful if a team wins 77-0?
No.
Depends on what sport
So
it
a
is.
Texas
No.
team, Willis High School in Texas, beat Cleveland High School 77-0.
Whoa.
No, it's not like they were trying to run up the score.
Right.
They actually had pulled their first and second team, and they just kept scoring. There's no mercy rule in Texas.
There ain't.
So just
Wow.
get better.
And they will.
Terry Barella.
Bowler, isn't it? Something like that.
Terry Bollea.
We got Balea and Barella.
Balea.
We both
Hmm.
got.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to come back. Quick check of what is going on this morning, being brought to you by La Tienda in Carlsbad. Don't forget, they've got the big days, 2 big days. Mark your calendar. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. They use the signature beef USDA prime ribeye steak for Taco Tuesday.
That is today.
For their signature tacos going on today. And then Friday, they do Fajita Friday. And they use ribeye steak fajitas. Yeah, buy them by the burrito or buy them by the pound for tailgating. La Tienda's got big savings going on. Jumbo chicken drumsticks, 79 cents a pound. Quarter loin pork chops, $1.88 a pound. Choice beef round roast family pack, $3.99 a pound. Red and white seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Cantaloupes are 2 for $5. And don't forget today, Taco Tuesday. Get in there for the tacos. Tom, quickly to the text.
All right. Text says, Nick from the Patch says, it's Terry Barella. He is Hogan's name, says the texter. Okay. Another one said Barella too, Obrola. Anyway, that's his real name. And Blake, you forgot the fire? Pisco fire?
Peshtigo fire?
Peshtigo fire? Whatever that means.
I don't know which one that is.
Elaborate on that. Would you, Linda in Carlsbad?
Yeah, I don't know what fire that is. It wasn't on my couple of lists that I was looking at.
And with the gas tax supposed to be set aside for refurbishment and repair of the highways, they sure do not use it anywhere over here in southeast New Mexico. says the.
Well, these electric vehicles are not paying for that. So.
Well, and again, they weigh twice as much.
So they should
tear
be
up the
paying
roads
tax.
faster.
If we pay taxes on the road at the pump, they should be having to pay at their plug.
Yeah, the charging station.
And this texter says, running up the score isn't disrespectful play until the final whistle.
Right.
It's disrespectful to be so bad to get beef blown out, says this.
Well, and it's not like he left the first string in there.
No, they did put the third string. They were going to bring in the 8th grade team, but those kids, they couldn't round them up.
They only play 8th grade here in New Mexico, don't they?
Digger Bill said in Arizona, diesel is cheaper than gasoline.
Yeah,
Back before 1990, diesel was always cheaper than gasoline.
I
90
thought-
cents for diesel, and gasoline was $1.05 a gallon.
Now, Kevin, if you live around a city where there's a lot of boat traffic, like on the waterways,
Right.
diesel usually is cheaper.
I thought in Lubbock it was
Because all the boats
diesel was cheaper.
I've seen it cheaper here in southeast New Mexico. Hey, Joe from Rig Outfitter says, absolutely correct on why businesses don't come here. Not only for the mandates, but because of all the retail theft. They can't make money out here.
Well, and the other thing is this, everybody, part-timers get, we all get all these personal days. How many personal days? 21 or whatever it is. Joe would know.
Yeah. Someone responded to when we were talking about building homes with charging stations. We're in the process of acquiring a new home. According to New Mexico regulations, I will have to install a charging station. I will have an extension cord available.
There you go. There you go. All right, we got to take a break because we got Yvette Harrell we got to get to. We got to stay on time. 8:05, National Anthem and the Pledge this morning being brought to you by Rebecca Long, 575-393-2661. Get in touch with Rebecca Long. She could take care of all your insurance, home, auto, life insurance, and more. Rebecca Long, proud sponsor of the National Anthem and the Pledge. She is your farmer's agent. Get in touch with Rebecca today.
We are the Perry family from Hobbs.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
808, God bless America. Yvette Harrell will be on the line with us in just a second. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Jude Oil, reminding you God is in control.
From Proverbs 10 this morning, the wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool, they come to ruin.
This is Mike Welsh. With Judah Oil, can you join us in the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven,
Our Father, who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
on earth as it is in heaven.
on earth as it is on heaven.
Give us this day our
Give
daily
us
bread,
this day our daily bread,
and forgive us
and forgive us,
our trespasses, and we forgiven those who trespass against us.
and forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not to temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
Amen.
KWMW Maljamora 105.1 FM. It's 8:09. Yvette Harrell on the way. News this morning being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm. Luke Ragsdale. Get in touch with Luke this morning. If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, maybe if you've been injured in some type of other personal injury, Luke can take care of all of that. He has settled the big cases out in the Patch, $10 million case in the Patch, $9 million medical malpractice case, settling car accidents, slip and falls. And if you need somebody to defend you in the court of law, 575-208-5300, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Yvette Harrell is coming up next. We're W105.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Hurricane Milton could be Tampa Bay's first direct hit from a major storm since 1921. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Fox and Friends.
This is a storm that's going to be hitting sometime Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. The water's already going to be high with the tide. So that's a huge, huge concern.
The storm's about 545 miles from Tampa Bay now, 145 mile an hour sustained winds. The Nobel Prize in Physics is shared by artificial intelligence pioneers John Hopfield and Geoffrey Hinton.
Hinton, who quit his job at Google amid concerns about AI advances, saying he was flabbergasted at the honor, also reiterating warnings about the impact of AI, which he believes would be akin to the Industrial Revolution, for better or worse.
Fox's Lillian Wu. Supreme Court today hears a case about ghost guns. Buy build-it-yourself gun kits that the Biden administration wants regulated, the same as finished firearms. America's listening to Fox News.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
Honey, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m.
Well, I'm making a big breakfast for you and the kids. We got to get going this morning. It's a long drive to Midland Airport.
I booked our flights out of our airport here in Hobbs. It's in town, not in Texas.
Well, you want some toast?
Is that strawberry?
Organic boysenberry.
I'm going back to bed.
Love you.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
At Caveman Spray Foam Insulation, they can help you with all your insulation needs. Whether it be a new build, a remodel, or that old metal shop, they've got you covered. Certified and with over 12 years combined experience, there is nothing that can't be insulated. With free quotes available and serving all of Eddy, Lee, and Chavez counties in New Mexico, with a service available in West Texas, call the pros today at Caveman Spray Foam Insulation, 575-361-2228. If it can be sprayed, we'll spray it.
This Eunice Cardinals Sports Update is being brought to you by Guns Up Services. Go Cardinals.
Guns Up Services LLC of Eunice, supporting the community for over 13 years. Would like to wish the Cardinals another great season and also encourage everybody to show up in support of all Eunice Cardinal sports. With oil field services that range from vacuum trucks, winch trucks, dump trucks, and backhoes. They have frac tanks, caliche, downhole chemicals, saltwater disposal, and freshwater sales. That's Guns Up Services, LLC, helping to keep our oil field trucking. 2403 Avenue O, Eunice, or call at 575-399-2457. Go Cardinals!
Blake Ovard here, MTD Radio. We're talking to Eunice head coach Greg Jackson. Coach, it was a big win this week over Kermit, 49-19. But you have your first district game coming up this week against the Texaco Wolverines. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was a great win on Friday night. It was nice to see how the kids handled the week, being that it was homecoming, and mitigate distractions. And then it sets us up really well to head into our first district game and run back last year's state championship game, and hopefully with a much different result. But it's exciting times here, and I was really proud of the boys and the way they played, and hopefully it leads into a great week, because we're going to have a great week to beat a great team on Friday night. So all in all, very exciting, and a lot of positivity around the program right now, which is exciting.
This Eunice Cardinals Sports Update has been brought to you by Guns Up Services, 2403 Avenue O in Eunice. Proudly serving the community for over 13 years. Go Cardinals.
W105, be in the Breakfast Club. Tom A. has lost his mind, so you don't have to.
You seem particularly triggered right now.
Call now. 877-396-W105.
He's a friend of mine. Friend with a big mouth.
Let's go, We are late this morning, already 8:14. Yvette Harrell is on the phone. How are you doing, Yvette?
I am doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
So you're down to the last, is it 30 days today, or is it 29 days? 4 weeks away.
It's 29. Yeah, it's close. It's getting close. That's all I know.
Yeah, very, very close. We'll talk about the poll that came out on KOB that I'm very skeptical of.
Right.
We'll talk about that. Blake is in here. Tom, Monica. Blake, go ahead.
So, Yvette, what can people do since now, today, they can start voting early?
Yeah, they need to. I mean, if we want to change the direction of this state and this seat, for sure, they've got to vote. So they can go to nmvote.org. They can look at an absentee ballot, or a sample ballot. They can request an absentee ballot. They can go to our website and get engaged. We still want volunteers to invest in our movement. We've got lots of poll challengers, attorneys engaged. So we want to make sure people understand their vote is secure. And we want them to vote early. We want them to vote absentee. But no matter what happens, people have got to get out and vote, because that's how we change the way things are headed.
Yep. We had Gabe Vasquez on a couple weeks ago, and I put the pressure to him about immigration and the economy, and all of a sudden he said he had to go.
Really?
Yeah, he had to go. I sent you a copy of the interview, but it's amazing to me that Gabe was talking about all these bills that he had worked on, but he hasn't gotten one bill out of committee, which means that he has completely been ineffective.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I saw that. I noticed, late in the summer, he started introducing all these bills, and then is even running an ad saying that he worked across party lines to get 20,000 Border Patrol agents on the border, which is completely false. And this is why I got the endorsement of the U.S. Border Patrol Council, and he didn't. I mean, they only endorsed one challenger nationwide, and I'm so grateful it was us. But that's because we have a record of standing and advocating for not only Border Patrol, but law enforcement. And Gabe falls very short in that area, and he can't defend himself, and that is probably why he refused to debate me next week on KOB. Wow. He simply would not take the debate time and date that they gave us, and the TV station picked it. It wasn't like it was our date or his. It was actually kind of right in the middle. I wanted earlier in the month, right before early voting or on the day of early voting. He wanted late, close to Election Day. So they just arbitrarily picked the date of October 16th. But this is where we're at. We've got a guy in Congress who doesn't represent our values, has voted to allow boys and girls sports, boys and men in girls' locker rooms, has not voted to support our law enforcement, has not voted to secure the border, has voted against our energy independence, and then not once but twice voted to allow illegals to vote in our elections. And this is why people are so concerned about what's happening at the polls. And that's why we're working extra hard to ensure we have plenty of eyes on the polling location. We have attorneys already lined up, because I want to ensure that these voters know that their vote matters, and we are going to do everything we can to keep it transparent and safe.
That was the tipping point when I told him the American people were tired of taking care of foreigners, and we are hurting. We should come before anybody.
That's right. And I've said it before. we've seen a huge shift in the prioritization of people, and we have not placed the value of the American people, American lives, American livelihoods first and foremost. And look what's happening on the East Coast. We don't even have enough money to send essentials to the people in North Carolina and others that were hit by that storm, because we sent $1 billion to pay for those who, don't forget, have broke the law to get here. We're paying out benefits to people that sadly do not deserve them, and we have homeless veterans. We have people who are really struggling just to make ends meet and need a hand up. They just need some help, but yet all of that falls on deaf ears, and not to mention that the Department of Homeland Security has lost over 300,000 children. If there was a Republican in office in the White House, the Democrats would be going berserk over that. But they just turn a blind eye if they don't want to talk about it. But what they will talk about is character assassination on people like me who stand for life, who believe in the exceptions, who will not support a nationwide ban. And then they twist the bill, the language of a bill, to say, I want to criminalize women, and they know this is wrong, because the bill said, basically it said, if a woman is raped and the perpetrator tries to have her get an abortion to tamper with evidence, so to speak, to coerce her in order to cover up the crime, that the criminal could be held liable. And, they totally twisted that, and it's no longer a federal issue. This honestly should never have been a political issue, because it is a woman's choice, but I want to love on everybody and make sure women know and girls know that there are a lot of other options out there, but they've just vilified all of this and attacked my character, and I can't believe that's what they're running on when we've got people who can't afford to pay their bills, seniors making decisions between gas or groceries, parents afraid of the neighborhoods they live in because of the high rate of crime here, and we are the #1 state for poverty, and this is what we've got to look at on his ads. So I'm telling you, in my opinion, party affiliation is getting in the way of good policy discussion. And everywhere I go in the district, everybody I talk to, and it doesn't matter the party, we all kind of get back to the concerns of the day: open border, the high cost of living, the education system, and the crime rate. And that's across the board, Democrat, Independent, Republican. So if we will vote our values and start placing what our needs and wants are above what these ads tell us to do, I think we have a really good shot at changing the face of New Mexico. And I'm talking all the way down ballot. We've got amazing candidates running for the House and the Senate seats.
Since when do we start saying, well, we need to take care of illegal foreigners, but we don't even take care of our own people? When did we start that? I'm kind of blown away that we will spend billions and billions and billions of dollars taking care of illegal foreigners that came here, but we have citizens, many of them veterans, and we don't take care of them. When did this start?
It started the day Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took office. We right away saw the shift. We saw the executive orders. They right away killed the energy sector. They right away, put all these mandates and these executive orders in place. And now it's energy. It's, our farming and ranching capabilities with these land grabs, and doing it all in the name of conservation. And, this is what is so interesting to me. The bills, because people really don't have time to go read a 200, 300, 400, 500-page bill. But the title of the bill sounds pretty great, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, or, all of these things. But when you pull the layers back and start realizing, less than 10% of that bill actually went for infrastructure. The rest of it was this overly grotesque spending, pork barrel projects, creating the Climate Corps, creating all these weird positions, and 87,000 more IRS agents. I just don't feel like that was necessary. And yet, you're right. We're giving people who break the law to get here the benefits that our homeless veterans deserve, that our small businesses deserve, that our small companies deserve, that our seniors deserve. And yet they'll use scare tactics and fear-mongering, and character assassination. And that's not what's going to save the day. That is not what's going to put more food on the table or secure the border or enhance our ability to have a robust economy in our communities and in our nation. And this is where I think people are starting to pay attention. And again, not so much get confused with party affiliation, because that is part of the downfall of what we've seen happen over the last almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm. You know, Vat, this is Tom. I had the opportunity to go with our state representative, Randy Pettigrew, and his wife, Shannon, to register votes over the weekend, register people to vote over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I found out, and we always ask here, is why people don't go to vote. I mean, we didn't go to vote 2 years ago, and you didn't get elected. And so, I asked these people, what is the reason that you didn't go to vote? One lady said, you know what, I don't understand the value of voting. And now finally she's a 30-year-old woman who has 3 kids, and finally she figured it out that she needed to send an inheritance to them, and this government that we have in process now, in right now, is not going to do that.
That's right. And people need to understand there's so much government intrusion in our lives, and it doesn't matter what level, local, state, federal level. But the people that are making these policy decisions that we have to live with, like here's a great example. We have so many people in office making business policies that have never signed the front of a paycheck, do not understand a profit and loss, do not understand a balance sheet, do not understand, and especially in places like rural New Mexico where it's not just the employee, it's the employee and their families, because we all know each other. You know, there's a family kind of essence to it, and we're making a living with policy decisions that people who never owned a business, they have no idea what they're even doing. And again, it is so obvious that we're placating and giving to those who have never given anything to the American people or to the tax base. You know, we've got over 20 million illegals here, and that the cost to the American people on top of this crazy inflation and this Bidenomics, it's not working, and it's taking benefits and opportunities away from every single New Mexican and every single New Mexican child who really should have the same opportunities as we had growing up. And that's why we've got to change this. But I'm telling you, the votes are going to matter. And what I can tell you is it was so close last time, 1,300 votes. But here's what was exciting to me. We took 44% of the vote in Las Cruces, in Doña Ana County, not because a bunch of Republicans showed up, because independents and Democrats are not all falling for this crazy agenda and putting, you know, foreigners over Americans and spending this money like crazy. And we can all see we've lost 23% of our spending power per dollar. That's like saying every dollar in your pocket's only worth 75 cents. And then that coupled with the high cost of fuel, utilities, and think about the people now, we see it now, record level of credit card debt, because people are actually having to use credit card to help pay for their normal
to get by.
bills.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've placed everybody in harm's way. And I think this notion, this idea that, you know, just people keep putting their hands out to the government and somehow it's going to save the day, I think everyone's starting to recognize that's not really helping, and it's stripping away our ability for the free market and the limited government and the growth and the prosperity that we've seen in this country over 200 years, and they're crippling it right now. And this is how we change it, this starting today with this early voting all the way through November 5th.
You know,
I have a question, Yvette.
Go ahead.
So you mentioned that people are starting to wake up and see things. I do remember, well, just as a matter of fact, last night, whenever we were watching KOB, they shared the polls regarding you and Gabe, and then, of course, Trump and Kamala. Do you see a flip possibly happening in November for the state of New Mexico, or do you think it's pretty much still stuck on blue?
I think the state is a lot more purple than people realize. I think just conversations I've had throughout this district, there are a lot more conservative Democrats than you realize.
Wow.
They may not go out and change their party affiliation. They may not put up an Yvette sign or a Trump sign or whatever. But I think they're recognizing they don't need to watch TV to understand what's really happening, because they just go so far as their checkbook. They can look at their business. They can look in the eyes of their children and think, wow, what are we doing to these children that are growing up in a place that's so different than just it was, how it was just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the reality of party affiliation has gotten in the way. And really a lot of Democrats that are supporting me are very conservative, are pro-business, and they are pro-Second Amendment, and they want the best for this nation. But they understand that these policies, and like you guys have said, giving all this money to the world and not taking care of. I think of it like this, like getting on a plane. You know, they always tell you, put your mask on if you need to, but secure yourself first before you help anybody else.
Right.
That's what we need to do, because we've turned America into a rental property, and we need pride of ownership. We need robust ability to create jobs and create success and live off these assets that are so important, not only to the district, but to the nation, with our energy, you know, our fossil fuels, with our mining, with our rare earth minerals, with our timber, with our ag operations. I mean, we have just trampled over the values that are so important to us and what have made us such a great nation and a great state. And I think people are tired of it.
Yvette, let's talk about the poll that came out on KOB.
I didn't see it, so you're going to have to tell me what it said, because I honestly didn't see it.
Blake, you have those numbers in front of you?
I don't.
So it shows that you're down. And you know, when I see a KOB poll, I'm wondering how many people they're polling in southeast New Mexico. And it was like 40.
It is 51 to 42 with 8% undecided, with Gabe leading. That's the overall
I don't know
poll.
that poll's super accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen polling, national polling, and it's way, way, way closer. I mean, it flips. It's 1 point me, 1 point him.
Exactly.
And it's usually right around a 2.5 point difference.
Right.
And it can fluctuate. And so I think that's probably more accurate. And there probably are some undecided.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, the energy on the ground feels very good. I think this abortion ad that they've used has just been a complete, the most dishonest thing I've ever seen.
Sure.
It's character assassination. And, we've talked about it.
They're playing to their base, because this poll came out with that, and it said, what is the most deciding issue in the race? And the liberals all said 42% is abortion. Where the conservatives at 48% said it's the border and immigration.
Immigration and the economy. Yeah. I mean,
the economy.
When you can't afford to feed your family, I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you can't afford to feed your family or put fuel in your car, but yet you see that people breaking the law to get here are being put up in hotels. They're cleaning out, different convention centers in different areas so they can house these people. But we're not getting free housing. Nobody's paying my house mortgage. I have to pay my own groceries. I don't get a free cell phone. I don't receive those benefits. And it's infuriating that so many veterans need help, whether they're homeless or not. We are just turning a blind eye. And I tell people this, if I know the election thing it's really tough for some people, and maybe they don't like any of the candidates, but I say do a self-exam of your values, and for nothing else, vote for the Gold Star family.
Amen.
Who truly understands the cost of freedom and the ability for us to live in a free nation.
I can't agree anymore. And it's a time in our countries that we need to make a decision for our kids, for our grandkids. I'm 65 years old, and if I live another 10 years, I've outlived my expectations. But my grandkids and my kids, they are not going to grow up in the same place that I grew up in. And we cannot take care of everybody. We have to take care of our own.
That's exactly right. But, I mean, what you guys said earlier tells the story. Do you want a guy making decisions for you, like Gabe Vasquez, who won't even finish a radio interview because the questions got a little too real? And it's the reality that we live in every single day with the border crossings, with the fentanyl, with the trafficking of humans, with the crime rate. Number one in crime, New Mexico is number one in poverty. And this is the guy that wants to go back and say he's going to help New Mexico. He hasn't done it so far. He's not going to do it in the future. And New Mexico deserves so much better than that.
I agree.
Yvette,
it's always a pleasure, Yvette. Thank you so much.
You're sure welcome. You guys have a great day, and get out to the polls and take 10 people with you. I challenge you.
There you go. Thank you, Yvette Harrell.
Thanks, Yvette.
Running for Congressional District 2, of course, that encompasses part of Chaves County. Used to be all of Chaves County. This gerrymandering kind of took care of
part
that.
Part of Lee, part of Chaves.
Yeah, and Albuquerque and
all of Otero, all of Eddie.
So, Yvette needs your help. And if you're about the oil and gas industry, you want at least one representative that backs the oil and gas industry, please, among other values, too. All right, 833. We're going to talk about America's largest water and waste utility hit with cyber attack. Another cyber. Remember, we had the one right here in Denver City that was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that. Morning Show being brought to you by our buddies at the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. Limpy is coming back November 1st and 2nd. No prep cash days, flashlight days. Limpy working the flashlights, small tire, True Street, tailgate, Run What You Brung It, and other races going on at the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. That's November 1st and 2nd. Call Jamal for more information, 575-631-5099. Follow them, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Bradley from the block says, a lot of people are like me, B, because of all the hacking going on, they don't answer the poll questions over the phone. I know we have a lot more Republican support that are definitely not on any of those polls. Go get them, Yvette, and silent majority has your back. That's Bradley from the block this morning. And Tom, Jennifer Aniston, was in the wrong profession. All of her movie sets were coal. She should have been a glass cutter. Now
How old is that?
It's very far down there.
Too old.
Over an hour ago.
Well, it came up on my top of my deal here. But that was one of the things that we talked about earlier. And at 8:34, Mark from Russell chimes in. Good morning, friends. Monica, you look like you're cold. Can I warm you up? Says the texter.
Really, Tom?
Mark from Roswell.
Monica, if you would, let's see if we can find somebody to warm Tom up, especially his brain.
Okay.
It's like an automobile. It's got to be warmed up a little bit.
Well, it's top of the text. What do you want? Old ones or new ones?
Pre-read?
I did pre-read it.
Okay. I hope she wins, referring to Yvette Herrell, but sadly, a lot of people just don't go out to vote. If Gabe wins this state, we'll just go on a downward spin even more.
Yeah,
we're already at the bottom.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we can go, but
It'll get worse.
Let's save what's good.
Yeah,
save what's good. All right, we got to go ahead.
We, the working American people, are so tired of this crap. The cost of groceries and just everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, morning. How you doing? Where are you calling from this morning?
It's Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, what's up?
Hey, I've had a change of heart. I've got two things. I was at McDonald's and I pulled into the parking lot there at Walmart, and I'm in my rig, that has all my good stuff on it. One of them that says Kamala Harris is an idiot.
Did you have clothes on?
I have all my clothes on.
Okay.
I didn't go through the drive-thru. I actually had to go in. I don't do that time. But anyway, this lady, a lady of, I don't know. I'm not sure if she was a Spanish lady or a black lady, but she pulled up to me and she rolled her window down. And I'm gonna say this lady was in her mid-30s to early 40s, and I was kind of like, "What's this gonna be about?" And this is what she said. She said, "I like your truck, and the part I like best is that Kamala Harris is an idiot." So that was an encouraging thing.
That is encouraging.
So anyway, but I went down to my favorite establishment that has the liberal. That's the girl that Tom ought to go try to date. That girl that works down there at Interstate Batteries. That's a liberal.
Right.
I walked in there, and I'm for boycotting Interstate. So anybody out there that wants to boycott a company, boycott Interstate Batteries. And it's all because of this liberal girl in there. Because when I went to the counter to pay out, I drove my truck and I backed it in where that was facing her. Kamala Harris is an idiot. and when I went up to pay the bill, I could tell, she had that seething, hatred seeping out of her. And I went up to pay the bill, and when I got up to pay, where the credit card deal was, the roll, the tape roll was right there, or tape or whatever it was. Well, I moved it over to the left so I could find it. Well, she immediately grabbed it and put it on the other side. She didn't like where I put it. And I said, well, why didn't you have it over there to begin with? And then she said, why did you come in here and cause trouble? And I said, I'm not causing trouble. Well, anyway, so she said, this is what she told me, because I have a Trump hat on. She said, I don't like racists.
Racist.
We've only met twice.
Your answer should have been, I don't like racists either.
Yeah, and here we have
Because Kamala is the one that's the
Kamala
racist.
Harris going on the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern has done blackface and all kind of stuff, but it's only they remember this only when it benefits them.
So anyway, and so I didn't tell her that I didn't like racists. I just told her that I didn't like her.
So
I said I don't like you, and I'm sure the feeling is mutual.
yeah, but look, here's the deal.
Where's the owner?
When you do business with somebody, they should never, ever let their personal opinion. Look, the biggest liberal, Kamala Harris, could walk in this building and tell me, Kevin, I want to spend $2,000 with you. Well, I know I'm making $400 off a $2,000 sale.
Well, hey, I'm to the point where I don't care about that company. I like the guy that works in the back.
Right.
I don't know the other lady that works up front. I don't know anything about them, but I would say boycott Interstate Batteries in Hobbs, New Mexico, because that lady is a royal jerk.
She shouldn't be discussing such things. Hey, I appreciate you, Mad Dog. Take it easy. Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell, reminding you they have over 1,000 guns in stock. Buy your gun at Zia Gun. Trade in your gun. Sell your gun. They give you fair pricing on all of the above. They have over 1,000 different guns. And ladies, if you've been thinking about personal protection, things are not going to get any better. They are not going to get any better in New Mexico until we start hitting the justice system. So you got to protect yourself. They have non-lethal and lethal personal protection. Closed Saturday, open on Sunday. Look for that big yellow Zia sign and the building right there on Main Street in Roswell, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Closed Saturday, open on Sunday. Well, they've got a couple newcomers in Marietta, Georgia.
Illegal foreigners.
Yeah, they got them. They were actually, it's not that we don't have enough methamphetamine. They were making more methamphetamine.
This is meth oil, big garbage cans of it, ready to be turned into meth.
Very large amount of methamphetamine.
Seized by the feds, never to hit the streets. Found in what's described as a quiet neighborhood in unincorporated Marietta on Pear Road near several schools.
What's unusual about this situation is this is what we normally find in the jungles of Mexico and not in a neighborhood in Marietta with at least a dozen schools within a couple miles circumference, including an elementary school.
By the way, 1,100 pounds of methamphetamine. 1,100 pounds. Two gentlemen working.
It's like a giant pallet load.
Yes. They were both from Guatemala, and they believe they have ties to the Sinaloa cartel.
Imagine that.
All right, proof that the White House is lying about FEMA. The White House said, we were not giving any money to illegals. Wait a second. We never said that. Carrie Jean Pierre, not one time, but two times that I could find. Roll the tape.
FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and nonprofit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for these migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
What?
She could give Joseph Goebbels a run for his money.
I mean, that was two different takes that I found very quickly yesterday.
And those that don't know this, that was the Nazi propagandist.
Yeah, it's just out and out lies that they are telling.
Right.
Out and out lies. Sad that they would try to lie to your face.
Well, they think you're stupid.
Evidently.
And again, straight up propaganda. And at first people tongue in cheek call things Nazi, but you can map this administration directly with what the Nazi party did.
Yep.
And she, like I said, Joseph Goebbels, how is she any different?
I asked my mom yesterday. I said, Mom, did the adjuster come to look at the roof? Because they had a hurricane in Louisiana.
Right.
And she said, I think they put up a tarp. So they put up a tarp. And I said, have you been in contact with FEMA? And she just laughed.
Oh, wow.
She goes, we learned a long time ago we can't count on them people.
No.
Wow.
So the insurance company came, and I guess they're going to another roof.
Wow.
So the blue tarps, can't miss them. America's largest water and wastewater utility hit with a cyber attack in New Jersey. This thing is the largest in America.
Oh.
It looks like Jimmy Kimmel poking fun at Waltz during a interview, and his gaffe was that he's going to wake up November 6th with Madam President. Wake up on November 6th with Madam President. Yes, somebody told Doug that he's sleeping with Madam President.
Well, Doug's busy, slapping around the female help.
And
trying to cover it up.
Yeah. And knocking up the
babysitter.
The babysitters. Charlemagne the God talking about North Carolina, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He said that ain't right. $750 for essentials. That ain't right.
No.
He has been taking calls from people. And those people are not happy with Kamala.
They should not be happy.
No one should be happy.
So Charlemagne the God said, that's not right. It's not enough. And we need to take care of our own. And he said, he went on to say that stuff like this would not happen with a Donald Trump president. Hate Donald Trump or not, it just wouldn't happen. So, Tom, quickly to text. We got to take our break.
Mama Bear is chiming in. She says, sadly, with redistricting, we can't vote for her, says Mama Bear this morning. And Tom's brain should stay warm. He sits on it all the time. Says another okay. And
I love when Kevin talks Spanish.
And there's a couple of them that they're not appropriate to mention.
Adios.
Bradley from the block says a lot of people are like me because of all the hacking going on. They don't answer the poll questions over the phone. I know we have a lot more Republican support that are definitely not on any of the polls. Go get them, Yvette. Silent majority has your back.
I read that already, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see that. I
no,
apologize.
That's not the way he did that one.
Yeah, but it happens.
That's because he slaughtered it.
Oh, did he?
Did not slaughter it. Blake, you're a flake. You know that?
It was a butcher knife.
Excuse me?
He's filleting it.
Excuse me? You are going to sit there and call me a name
I was probably
after kicking me multiple times this morning.
He's like a donkey.
Listen, Tom.
He's kicked me 3 times.
Who else?
You're a diva.
No, I just don't like being kicked, Tom.
Donkeys. You
think I'm playing? I'm not playing.
Who's the signature of the Democratic Party?
The mule.
The donkey.
Yeah.
The donkey. That's why I know you're a donkey. You're kicking people.
Because you be kicking.
All right, let's get up to date with the weather. Pretty much the same. Check of the weather being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. Running low on fuel on 128. They remind you just exit right off of 128. Go down on Buck Jackson Road, about 2.75 miles. Fill her up. Unleaded, green diesel, red diesel, DEF value. Credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards accepted. And reminding you, please be safe on the road. 87 and sunny today. Clear tonight, 59. 89 and sunny coming up on Wednesday. Thursday, we're back in the 90s. I'm scanning ahead for the weekend. Back in the 90s. We'll talk about an Uber driver seen on video punching a passenger. I bet he's not going to get a good review.
No.
We'll talk about that coming up. Also, power restored. They had an accident at Balloon Fest. And 72-year-old American citizen sentenced to prison. If you go fight for Ukraine, and the Russians capture you, are you expecting America to go to the rescue?
I wouldn't expect it, but they are. We've done everything else for them.
So we'll get to that coming up in just a second. All right, already 8:48. Got to take a break. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. News this morning being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. 575-622-1751. MainTrailerSalesInc.com. Fifth wheels, toy haulers, ultralights. They've got them all. They also have got you covered when it comes to everything to do with pre-owned models, new and pre-owned models. So, and all of them are listed right there on the website. MainTrailerSalesInc.com for more information. Coming right back.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
La Tienda in Carlsbad presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now.
Call now. MTD Radio News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Get the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovart. Early in-person voting will get underway Tuesday across New Mexico, the same day that ballots will get mailed out. It is also the last day people can register to vote or update their registration online or through the mail ahead of the November 5th election. The early voting period will end on November 2nd at 6 p.m. On Election Day, people will again be able to vote at locations across the state from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. New Mexico also allows people to vote absentee. Voters will have until October 22nd to request an absentee ballot either at a county clerk's office or at nmvote.org. People can also sign up to be a permanent absentee ballot. Those on that list will automatically receive a ballot in the mail each year rather than requesting one. And on Monday, the Bureau of Land Management, New Mexico State Office, opened a 30-day public scoping period to receive public input on 17 oil and gas parcels totaling 7,782 acres. That may be included in the July 2025 lease sale. The comment period ends on November 6th. More information can be found on the BLM website at eplanning.blm.gov. And the St. Peter's Evangelical Lutheran Church in Carlsbad opened the church's annual pumpkin patch over the weekend. The church at 1302 West Pierce Street started the pumpkin patch some 19 years ago. The pumpkins are trucked down from the Farmington area, grown in the Navajo Nation. It's the closest location to Carlsbad, where conditions are favorable for pumpkins to grow large enough to be made into jack-o'-lanterns, said church member Tony Thompson. The St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church pumpkin patch is open every day until Halloween, 3 to 6 on Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 on Saturdays, and 1 to 5 on Sundays. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
The 22nd annual Jalorama is happening Saturday, October 12th from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Jal Lake Park. Enjoy food, vendors, games, live music, a car show, and the Chili and Rib Challenge. A full day of activities you won't want to miss. Live music starts at 5 p.m. featuring Los Higueros del Arroyo, Porte y Estilo de Ojinaga, Brian Mars Band, and the Damn Quails. For registration and more information, visit cityofjal.us. Come out to Jal Lake Park Saturday, October 12th for the 22nd annual Jalorama, starting at 8 a.m. in Jal, New Mexico.
If you, your business, or your organization is needing a venue or facility to host a meeting, convention, party, or other special event, don't cram everyone into your tiny little office. Call the Lee County Event Center. You don't have to fill up the main floor. The Event Center has many other smaller rooms that are perfect for meetings, seminars, parties, and other special events. The Lee County Event Center, seating for 25 or 2,500, 5101 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Call 575-391-2100 or visit LeeCountyEvents.com.
The global demand for oil and natural gas is growing, and leaders are looking to American producers to satisfy that demand with the abundant resources available in our country. If you're passionate about keeping energy affordable for your neighbor and reliable for everyone, then it's time you consider a career in oil and natural gas. Coterra Energy is expanding their Permian team and is offering an unmatched employee benefits package. If you're interested in applying, text Coterra to 71441. That's COTERRA to 71441. Coterra Energy is an equal opportunity employer.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Family of Excellence at Lucky Services, Lucky Rental Tool, Lucky Health and Safety, and TRM Trucking encourage you to vote. If you can't make it to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, vote early, but be sure to vote. This year's election will be one of the closest and most consequential in our nation's history, so every vote matters. Thank you for voting and praying for our country and its leaders from the Lucky Family of Excellence. And God bless America.
All right, everyone, listen up. Pay attention. At Permian Ford, you'll always find the best selection, lowest price, and outstanding customer service. No trick plays, just straightforward business. With model year-end savings, upgrade and save today. Permian Ford refuses to let price stand in the way of winning your business. You can score big on rugged trucks, sleek sedans, and SUVs. The best play is with Permian Ford on the corner of El Paso and Sanger.
Permian Ford.
Visit PermianFord.net.
Truck Central USA.
Hi, I'm Dennis Holmberg, Executive Director of the New Horizons Foundation. Do you have an idea for a new business? Have you thought of an invention, but don't know what to do with your idea? On October 17th, there is a free workshop to help you find answers. Leading experts in financing, patent law, business planning, and development will be in Hobbs. Now, space is limited, so call 575-492-4708 and get registered now. Again, this is free. This entrepreneur workshop will start at 6 p.m. in the Workforce Development Building at New Mexico Junior College, 4000 West Miller. Dinner will be provided. This event is sponsored by the New Horizons Foundation, Arapahoe, and New Mexico Junior College. Again, call 575-492-4708.
Tom A takes more hits than the Texas Rangers get in a year.
You may sell that jazz to another pothead, but not to somebody who spends most of their time holding some sick kid's head while he vomits and retches sitting on a curbstone at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Be in the Breakfast Club. Now back to the show.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
This is not headline news. Sober October is gaining in popularity, but not so much with Cleveland Browns fans. Flavor Flav put one of his necklace clocks up for auction. You can bid for it on eBoy. According to the National Retail Federation, the number one Halloween candy this year is M&M's. And coming in dead last for the 200th year, box of raisins. 8 of 10 Americans worry about World War III. The remaining 20% concerned if Jane's addiction will ever settle their differences. And a town in Argentina has been overrun by parrots. Asked what the parrots want, their ringleader Polly said, crackers. This is not headline news.
8:56. We are beyond the Breakfast Club. Another day in paradise. We haven't done the boob of the day. I'll get to that next. Derek Anderson, Republican candidate running for Congress in Virginia, recently landed in hot water, allegedly borrowing a friend's family for a campaign video. Yeah, it wasn't his family. He borrowed his friend's family.
Does he not have a family?
I mean, it was very weird, especially if the guy borrowed the other guy's wife. I'm just saying it's a bunch of phony baloney.
That's weird enough that Tim Walz would want to do that.
And then there was a candidate that showed up at a debate. Hi. Where was that?
Wasn't it like Pennsylvania or somewhere?
The dude was high as a kite.
It was really out of it. Like they had to stop the debate.
Yeah. Hunter Biden was envious. Firefighters and police in New Hampshire are called out to a home of a resident who found a moose trapped in a swimming pool.
I would bet that's probably not all that uncommon up there.
Which begs the question, what the hell was Joy Behar doing in
She was celebrating her birthday
in New Hampshire. All right, 8:58. Be on the Breakfast Club. Greg Landry, former Lions quarterback, assistant coach, died at the age of 77. He was first team All-Pro and Pro Bowler, 1971. Of course, he was NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and in that year, 1971. And Milton is still out there. It's now 175 miles an hour, Category 5. It is going to be one of the larger ones when it comes to hurricanes. And, our government will probably, I don't know, give like $750.
in a loan.
In a loan.
They won't even
loan.
Yeah, they'll tie
Now-
it to your property. So if you don't pay it back, they can take your property.
Breitbart is reporting this morning that they're trying to resettle 700 the illegal migrants in North Carolina. I'm just going to say, if you guys have never been to North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia,
And in the western part of that,
Yeah.
the mountains.
oh boy, those people from Appalachia they're different.
And let this
That's
sink
right.
in just a little bit. Kamala Harris wanted to give everybody a $750 basically payday loan, right?
It's a loan.
But they're spending $750 million for the illegal foreigners to go there.
Okay, really quick,
houses, free electricity.
why place these foreigners in a place that is suffering right now?
Well, here's a better question. Why don't we just deport people anymore? I mean, look, I've been divorced before. And you know what I always thought? It's not cheaper to keep her. Because insanity is not good.
Well, and there's 4 major places they're doing them from: Venezuela, the Congo, Burma, and Afghanistan.
Wow.
Why are these people our responsibility?
They are
If
not.
you come from the Philippines and you are a Philippine national, you are a citizen of the Philippines, the Philippines are responsible for you. That is your country. That is your country of origin, and they should be sent back to their country of origin. Not everybody is running away from a bad condition, because what's happened now, America is turned into that bad place.
So sad.
I don't know if that's by design or not.
I would like to not think it is, but by their actions, I almost can't overlook that anymore. It's like they want the USA to fail.
Evidently. Evidently.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's so sad.
Texas Uber driver in Dallas. Video of the Uber driver punching a passenger over a leg room dispute. Uber driver captured on video punching a 68-year-old passenger in the back of the head in Dallas after he complained about lack of legroom inside the vehicle.
Wow.
Incident involved Samuel Gaba unfolded, and he ended up punching the old dude right in the back of the head.
So sad.
Dude was complaining about some legroom.
Yeah.
I hope he never flies on an airplane, because there is zero legroom.
Right.
And this whole thing was captured on video. And let me just say this much. Uber will beat your wallet up anyway. And where do you think this guy's from? Samuel Gaba. Where do you think he's from?
The Congo.
Yeah, probably the Congo. And look, I am not pro-immigrant. I mean, negative against immigrants. I'm married to an immigrant. But how many can we take?
Right.
And why is it our responsibility to take care of everybody?
Well,
See,
and I would say we take them the legal way.
right. Over 1 million a year that get green cards. And here's something more important than that. They should have a job secure before they get here. housing secured before they get here.
Right.
That's the correct way of doing it.
Which is the way most countries in the world do it.
We have lost our damn mind, and this will bankrupt America. Don't ever think this will not bankrupt
What's
us.
our deficit? We're already bankrupt.
We're pretty close. Whataburger shooting that killed one person leads to a DWI arrest. 45-year-old man in El Paso on Saturday morning was driving under the influence after a fatal shooting at a Whataburger where a man shot another man, and then it led to a arrest for DWI for another man. Unbelievable. And TSA has enabling terrorist threats and dangers from foreign nationals. You know, I just got finished flying.
Right.
2 times.
Your arms are tired.
When you go through and you have to do the security check.
Right.
And you got to spread your legs, and I always have to go to the secondary. And then they fill you up again. Hey, what's that? It's not a knife, okay? We are letting people fly in this country without proper paperwork.
Right.
So TSA just rolled out all of this, and we have people that were on the terrorist watch list. But you're making me take off my belt and my shoes.
So sad.
Well, yeah, because you're the danger, not them.
We actually have people living in the airports.
But you want the country to be great again, Kevin. That makes you the enemy. You don't want to destroy it. Only people that want to destroy the country are their friends.
I want you to think about how ludicrous this is. They make me take my shoes off, my belt.
Right.
You fill me up, you x-ray me, and then you have people that are unvetted living in the airport.
Right.
Yep.
Living in the airport.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of people living in airports across the United States.
That they flew in.
Right.
This is
Harris and Biden brought those people here illegally on purpose. They didn't cross on their own. They went out and recruited those illegal foreigners.
So the Inspector General has been looking at a couple different reports and going, I don't know if this makes sense that non-citizens can fly without proper documentation. We don't even know who these people are. Thank you. Vanderbilt hit with the $100,000 fine.
Why?
After rushing the field, taking down the goalpost.
For beating Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah, that's why. So
that's all right. Vandy's got alumni that can pay for it.
Yeah, they'll pay for that. Very smart people at Vandy. All right, Boob of the Day this morning being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Medical professionals on staff, 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. I talked to a guy yesterday. Said I started going to get my testosterone. I feel so much better about things.
Awesome.
I'm also getting back in shape. That hasn't happened in about 20 years.
Wow.
Of course, he's only 45, Tom. Not as old as me and you.
Right.
Go to Desert Functional. Talk to them about testosterone replacement therapy. Ladies, if you're going through menopause or going through premenopause, go talk to them about hormonal optimization. If you're not feeling good, there's something going on. Listen to your body. Go and get your blood work done. They do the thing called the deep dive into your blood work where they look at everything. They can also help you with pain. They offer stem cell therapy, ozone therapy, and cryotherapy. 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Proud sponsor this morning of the Boob of the Day.
Do you know someone who claims they love cold pizza just as much as hot pizza, if not more?
No.
Well, this lady, not in that camp. 22-year-old woman in Florida, of course, named Ricky Holly, flew into a rage when Domino's delivered a pizza to her that she says was cold and uncut. Now, Ricky allegedly drove from her home to the Domino's, argued with an employee, through the pizza and damaged the store's phone.
Ricky Bobby?
Somehow, using that phone or another one, someone called the police. The cops came and they arrested her for criminal mischief, which is, of course, a misdemeanor. She spent the night in jail before being released. She was ordered not to have contact with that Domino's location, but she's not prevented from ordering pizza from another establishment. And some of the other establishments don't know if they want her to order pizza or not. For flying into a rage when Domino's delivered your pizza, you are the boob of the day.
I have never got a cold pizza.
No, and it's never uncut. That's the thing they do.
You know, they might not cut it all the way through. I know Little Caesars is notorious for not cutting all the way through sometimes. However, I don't understand why food makes people so mad.
I mean, you're getting the Little Caesars for $5.99, so you can't expect them to cut it all the way.
About other things.
Well, and this is Domino's. And if you really have that much of a problem, make pizza at home.
Come on. Seriously. And don't they know, like, you attract more bees with honey than vinegar?
No, they would rather damage things.
Yeah, I would have just called them. All right, power restored after a balloon bumped into a power line in Albuquerque. A lot of people yesterday were without power.
So I have a question about this whole balloon fiesta in Albuquerque.
All the time over there.
If the governor and all of her ilk are so against fossil fuels.
Yep, I posted that on the governor's
How do they keep sponsoring the balloon fiesta?
Come on.
I posted that on the governor's Facebook page. She still has not responded.
They
to me.
won't. They like throwing money at that because all their rich friends do it.
Yeah. I've never been, and I have no desire.
I've watched it.
And, I mean, it looks like a cool thing, but...
You can get the same effect at other balloon glow-ups, but it just seems a little Hippocratic to me.
Yeah. I agree. All right, we got a lot of things to get to. We're going to talk about a New Mexico former sheriff that gets probation. He was embezzling.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Not
he was
good.
Using company money.
No way, no.
And a 72-year-old man that was fighting in Russia for Ukraine was captured. Now what's going to happen?
He's going to come back and try and assassinate Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, sad, but maybe. All right, 910. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105.
This text saying, when I worked in Nigeria, the guy that checked your luggage when you fly out, he said he would not check your luggage for $200. Wow, says the texter.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Said if I give him $20, he won't check my luggage. I told him I will give you $100 to check everyone else's.
Yep.
Yeah, the Modia, what's it called? Modia? No, that's not what it's called.
Modelo?
The Spanish word.
Mochila?
Yeah, where you're giving somebody.
Oh,
I
I don't know.
Oh,
you know more than I do.
Yeah, Tom, let's go to the Hispanic guy in the room. What's it called when you give the bribe? Oh, hell.
I know some of you texters know.
I don't know.
What is it called whenever you give a bribe in Mexico?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Yeah,
Text
yeah.
in really quick.
Giving a bribe.
Someone said, I have a Border Patrol checkpoint story. It's too long to text. Do you want them to call in?
Yeah, call us in just a second, but we're running out of time. Tom?
All right, and Jody from Lovington says...
Movida.
There you go.
Yeah. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Jody from Lovington says Tom is in shape. Round is a shape. He says. Okay.
Damn pear. He's like a damn pear.
And my son is in the Army, and when he comes home, they make him take off his boots and his belt and search him like he's on a list. And that's after showing his military ID, says the text.
That is very sad.
That is sad.
But we let people live at the airport.
Well, this texter says, how stupid are we? Illegals living in airports. Any flight they want is theirs for the picking. Does anyone remember 9/11?
Look, I'm just giving you the facts. I promise you. You can look it up on Google. Unless Google, of course, purged it.
DuckDuckGo is the browser of choice.
Yes, most definitely. All right, let's take a break already. 9:12 coming back with the good news of the day. News this morning being brought to you by our buddy Joe, talking this morning about their building that new store and the governor's mandates having these charging stations crazy. Joe would like to put something. He would love to give scholarships and that type of stuff. But you have to when you have to spend that ridiculous amount of money.
$100,000 extra.
Let that sink in. Rig Outfitters Home Store. They've got everything that you need. They're in the Broadmoor Mall. If you're working in the patch, I promise you, winter is coming. They've got your coats and all your winter apparel. It's going to happen sooner or later. They've got gloves and shirts, FR jeans, $99 boot section. They also have safety gear, steel toe boots, and furniture appliances and electronics. 0 down financing is offered. And right next door, they've got Scrub Outfitters, the largest selection of medical scrubs in 100 miles, plus compression socks, comfortable shoes, and, of course, equipment. Scrub Outfitters, Rig Outfitters, check them out in the Broadmoor Mall. We're coming right back. It's already 9:14. We're being the Breakfast Club.
The only thing matters is a win. That's it. However, whatever it takes. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown!
Call in at 877-396-9105.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Millions on the west coast of Florida are warned this is the last day to prepare for Hurricane Milton and get somewhere safe.
10 to 15 feet peak storm surge is forecast.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Forecasts do call for it to weaken before it gets to landfall, and maybe that's true. Let's hope it's true. Maybe it's not, but even if it does weaken, you're still looking at a major hurricane.
Landfall is expected late tomorrow, early Thursday. Vice President Kamala Harris is asked how she'll pay for her economic plans, interviewed by CBS 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker.
We're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
Former President Trump said no to an interview for the show's election special. America's listening to Fox News.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
The 22nd annual Jowlerama is happening Saturday, October 12th from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Jow Lake Park. Enjoy food, vendors, games, live music, a car show, and the Chilean Rib Challenge. A full day of activities you won't want to miss. Live music starts at 5 p.m. featuring Los Higueros del Arroyo, Porte y Estilo de Ojinaga, Brian Mars Band, and the Damn Quails. For registration and more information, visit cityofjow.us. Come out to Jow Lake Park Saturday, October 12th for the 22nd annual Jowlerama, starting at 8 a.m. in Jow, New Mexico.
PMC Outlet, also known as The Shack, is located at 3106 East Green Street on the Hobbs Highway in Carlsbad and is well worth the drive. PMC's The Shack is a local family-owned indoor grow facility. They have low outlet pricing every day with farm-to-table delivery. They also have plenty of truck and trailer parking. You can find them online at pmccultivators.com or give them a call today, 575-988-8704. The Shack is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and on Fridays, 8 to 6. Must be 21 years of age or older or 18 with a medical card.
It's
fall, y'all, and that only means one thing. It's time for the Balzano Family Pumpkin Patch. Come help us celebrate 10 years of fall, family, food, and fun. We still have all your favorites like the fishing pond, the farm petting zoo, hay rides, pumpkins in the field, and free wine tasting. But we have lots and lots of new fun activities for all ages. Don't miss our biggest and best year ever. Open every weekend in October. Visit Balzano Vineyard on the web or Facebook. We'll see you on the farm.
Hi, I'm Dennis Holmberg, Executive Director of the New Horizons Foundation. Do you have an idea for a new business? Have you thought of an invention, but don't know what to do with your idea? On October 17th, there is a free workshop to help you find answers. Leading experts in financing, patent law, business planning, and development will be in Hobbs. Now, space is limited, so call 575-492-4708 and get registered now. Again, this is free. This entrepreneur workshop will start at 6 p.m. in the Workforce Development Building at New Mexico Junior College, 4000 West Millen. Dinner will be provided. This event is sponsored by the New Horizons Foundation, Arapahoe, and New Mexico Junior College. Again, call 575-492-4708.
This Lovington Wildcat Sports Report is brought to you by Lovington Wellness Center, enhancing lives by improving the quality of life.
Join the Lovington Wellness Center family. More than a gym, it's a community where goals are achieved and exceeded. They offer all-inclusive memberships for families, first responders, and senior citizens at competitive prices. Visit them today and join a cycling class, grab a smoothie, or take a walk on the indoor track. Whatever your goals are, they can help you achieve them at the Lovington Wellness Center, 1625 North Main in Lovington.
Blake Ovard here, MTD Radio. We're talking to Lovington head football coach Josh Bailey. Coach, it was a tough loss on a nail-biter against Mayfield, 49-50. But you have a bye week this week. How are you preparing going into Gadsden?
First of all, Mayfield's a good football team, and I knew that it was going to be a tough game. And I think that, they made a couple more good plays than we did. And our guys played hard and, gave us a chance to win at the end. And we just didn't end up finishing better than they did. I'm actually excited about the bye week. It gives us, I think, a week to focus on us and improving our football team and improving our relationships together and doing things to get back where we want to be. And then gives us time to prepare against another good football team in the Gadsden Panthers.
This Lovington Wildcat Sports Report was brought to you by Lovington Wellness Center, 1625 North Main in Lovington.
Oh, yeah, okay. Show's number one again.
Be in the Breakfast Club, on air, online, on your phone.
Yeah, you just might see that it's a brand new morning.
And broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio.
Snap on your helmet and adjust your cup.
Red, red dye. Banned by Gavin. No more eating these snacks. Can't have Skittles.
That red dye.
Red, red dye. Avoid Cheetos. Cannot consume Starburst. Doritos must go.
Doritos must go.
And Gatorade Zero.
We have so much dye in our food.
Must digest healthy food. Have to quit those M&Ms. It's so hard, I could cry. It's just too hard to let go. Red, red dye.
Tom, what is the last red thing, natural thing that you ate? Natural red thing that you ate.
Red chili.
Red chili.
Red bell pepper.
All right, well, we'll take that.
I had a tomato last night.
Did you?
I had some
Tomato.
red grapes with some cheese.
Ooh, that's good.
Nice.
I can't
What'd
eat
you have? What's the
grape.
last red thing you had, Blake?
Probably some cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
But I grow the little purple ones, so
I love
better.
those.
Oh.
Those are good.
I bet they're good.
Ben Affleck's son, stranded on the highway, driving an electric car.
How old is he?
He's like 19.
Oh, okay.
He's already 19. Wow.
Yeah, I love when this stuff happens.
Wow.
That is awesome.
No. Let me go back. Ben Affleck and his son stranded in the electric truck. The kid is 12 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, Dad, you had to be, that guy with this damn electric car. Greg Abbott sending more people to Florida to help with relief efforts. So Greg Abbott is that type of governor where he goes, okay, well, we're going to send our people to Tennessee, and, Florida's about to get hit again. We're going to send people to Florida just to help. Yeah. Millions of Christians have no plans on voting in November.
That's sad.
Could this
Are they really Christians?
Could this reshape the country?
I don't know where that source or got that information, but
It was actually a study from Arizona Christian University.
Well, that's students.
Yeah.
How many of them are really Christians?
yeah, that's not. I don't think that's.
Evangelicals
fact.
are going to go to vote.
It's kind of like, we have a private university here in this area who's supposed to be a religious organization, except that the president or chancellor or whatever he's called is an atheist.
Yeah.
So
is he really?
Or agnostic.
Wait a second.
No, he's an atheist.
Oh, he's atheist.
We have an atheist running a Christian college.
Are you serious?
Yep, in Hobbs.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Atheist running a Christian college.
He is an atheist.
Wow. GOP holds a 2-point edge in a generic ballot dealing. This is Ross Mutin. These are the guys that I trust. He's always pretty close.
Right.
And he says the GOP holds a 2-point edge in a generic ballot. And when it comes to Republican Democrat races, head to head. And Chicago mayor named an entire new school board as his old school board walked out.
And he had named that school board as well. They were all appointed too.
Wow.
And they were all enough of this BS, and they took off.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah, we can't put
It's
up
like
with
21 people. It's not like it's like 5 people.
Right.
It's like a whole bunch.
Yeah. Looks like the Vikings, October 7th statement blast anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Thank you for walking both sides.
What Islamophobia? I have not seen any Islamophobia. They keep saying that, and there is none. It's all anti-Semitic.
So, Tom, would you go fight in another country?
Why?
Tom's like, hell, I wouldn't fight here. What are you talking about? Stephen Hubbard.
About to.
Russian court, Monday, sentenced Stephen Hubbard to 6 years and 10 months in prison for fighting as a mercenary on the side of Ukraine while he was in Russia. He's 72 years old. He is a Michigan native, moved to Ukraine back in 2014, was paid $1,000 a month to defend the city of Izum, and he was caught in Russia.
Right.
And so if you move to Ukraine to 2014 and you're a part of their military,
Then you're Ukrainian.
yeah, you're Ukrainian, and you don't expect America to look. What has Biden done for our hostages in Gaza?
Not that.
Nothing.
Well, he paid. Remember the first time it happened, he paid
$6 million a head.
Yeah, and then
But
he
you
will
only
exchange.
only emboldened them to.
And they will exchange really high-ranking terrorist officials for
Yeah.
really nobodies.
Yeah. All right, former sheriff of Catron County, accused of embezzling money, money laundering, tax evasion, is going to avoid jail time.
Okay.
Ivan Fletcher pled no contests, 14 counts, as investigators say he funded tens of thousands of dollars meant for a wildlife recovery into his personal account. About $40,000 over 5 years.
Wow.
So no jail time. He gets probation. California 7-Eleven clerk brutally beaten
My God.
in those flash mob attacks.
Right.
This has been going on in Los Angeles for weeks. And Scott Peterson in California given discovery rights by the California judge 20 years after his murder conviction. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Rights.
Huh?
What are discovery rights?
Well, he gave
rights to the evidence against him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, didn't he kill his first wife?
Supposedly, Lacey Peterson.
Yeah. And
He's only
then
married once.
he got married again and killed this wife.
No, that's a different Thompson. That's a different one.
No, I don't remember Scott Peterson getting married
This
twice.
one killed his pregnant wife, or was convicted of killing his pregnant wife.
She was pregnant. He murdered
And how
her.
come
and then he
it
dumped her
took
in the
20
ocean.
years that he can get the evidence against
Right.
him?
Mm.
Good
That's the
question.
bigger question.
Yeah, I'm thinking about another guy.
Yes,
that
another Scott
was-
Thompson.
And then he got out.
Yes.
And then he killed his second wife.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't remember that guy's
I
name.
can't
Me
remember
either.
his name either. All right, we got to get to good news of the day being brought to you by Farmers Insurance agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington, 575-396-0513. Home Auto Life Insurance. They can take care of all of your insurance. Find him right across the street from Bob's Thriftway in Lovington.
A small dog in England fell into a deep crack between two rocks, and volunteers worked for a week to save her. She's a Jack Russell Terrier they've named Rose. She slipped through a 12-inch gap and was stuck 40 feet down. They had to use heavy machinery to chip away at the rock, but they refused to quit even when officials told them it was too dangerous. They kept on and rescued her. And the
That dog was in between a rock and a hard place.
She was. And the Associated Press just did a big feature story on a group of South Korean women who learned how to read and write in their 80s. And then they formed a rap group. They're called Suni and the Seven Princesses, and they've become a huge celebrity in South Korea. Yeah, go look them up. And find them on any of the K-pop stuff.
Yeah.
And finally, two best friends in Florida found out they were pregnant at the same time, and they ended up giving birth on the same day at the same hospital. Their due dates were 8 days apart, but, it kind of worked out this way. There's even more. The first one had her baby just after midnight, so she got moved to, and the second friend gave birth in the same delivery room.
Oh, my God.
So the same, and they both had boys.
Aw, that's
And
true best friendship
That
right
is
there.
your good news of the day.
Drew Peterson is the man you were talking
Yeah,
about.
I knew it was a Peterson.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. God bless America. God bless you. Have a great day. Tradio coming up next. News being brought to you by Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. Your choice for your next HVAC heating job. They could take care of everything. Before you light that furnace, make sure it is inspected. Call Enrique today, 575-631-1999. Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating.